spot is theirs. They need a win tonight. National Hockey Night. Welcome, everybody. The last weekend of the regular season underway, and mighty important games to be played, including this one. The Pittsburgh Penguins know they're going to the playoffs. The Buffalo Sabres do not know that yet, because in the Eastern Conference, 3 teams are battling for the final spot. Buffalo has got to get 3 points in the next 2 games to guarantee themselves the spot no matter what. And if they win tonight, say goodbye to Carolina. It then will be just those 2 battling over the final weekend. That's what's up for stake. Hello, everybody. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, and welcome. For the Buffalo Sabres, you want to get it over as soon as you can. Not take it to the bitter end, but trouble tonight.
Well, it almost was the bitter end for the Sabres a month ago. They were dead in the water. Then the trading deadline came along, and they got Doug Gilmour, that has been so important to the Sabres in getting into a playoff spot and in the position to make the playoffs. But Doug Gilmour has been fighting a very serious virus for 3 weeks. He came out and he looked real peaked in the warm-up, folks. So peaked, he's not going to answer the bell. I mean, he's not going to play for the Buffalo Sabres tonight, even as important as this game is. So what's going to happen to the Sabres? Well, they can win this game anyway, just because of the way Dominik Hasek has been playing. The force field is up. He looks like Dominik Hasek of last season. He is coming off a shutout 5-0 last night in New Jersey. Dominik Hasek, as we all know, is the one feared guy nobody wants to face in the playoffs. That also means he's the one guy that can win this game tonight by himself.
Pittsburgh Penguins know they're going to the playoffs, but will it be 7th or 8th? The winner of tie, 7th place is theirs. More importantly, maybe, Jaromir Jagr, can he get his 4th scoring title?
I think that's what this game is about for the Penguins. It's obviously what it's about for Jagr. The Penguins sewed up a playoff spot Wednesday night in Toronto. But Jaromir Jagr has a 2-point lead on Pavel Bure for the Art Ross Trophy, which is the top scorer in the NHL. Jagr has been very honest and open about this. He said, this is very important to me. If it's important to Jagr, it's important to the Penguins.
That's what's at stake here in this game as we head into the final weekend of the regular season. And for the Buffalo Sabres, with the announcement that Gilmour cannot play, Chris Gratton needs to be even more of a presence tonight. But it won't be easy against Pittsburgh and Darius Kasparaitis, who never cries.
Is your asthma really under control?
Yeah. But sometimes I wheeze.
Ever wake up short of breath?
I do.
Use your fast-acting inhaler more than twice a week.
I use mine every day.
If that's what you call control, ask your doctor if prescription Flovent is right for you. Flovent twice a day helps control the inflammation that can cause asthma symptoms in the first place and helps improve lung function. Flovent won't replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden attacks. People switching from an oral steroid like prednisone to Flovent, an inhaled steroid, need to be especially careful. While adjusting to the switch, your body is not as able to heal after surgery, infection, or serious injury. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve.
Now this is control.
Call 1-800-426-7929 today for a $5 rebate and a free asthma workbook so you and your doctor can determine if your asthma is really under control. That's 1-800-426-7929. Flovent, helping you define asthma control.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're going to love.
Introducing a winning fitness strategy.
You got to eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism.
Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
Baseball's ultimate road trip stops in Tampa for a showdown with a lot of pop. Jose leads the Devil Race against Manny and the Tribe. The ultimate road trip rolls on with Sunday Night Baseball. Indians Devil Rays, Sunday at 8 on ESPN.
Breakaway showtime. He scores! Log on and get into the game. NHL.com puts you center ice with cool features, the latest stats, and hottest video clips. Listen to live radio broadcasts of virtually every NHL game free. It doesn't get any better than this, baby. Get cool gear from the NHL store, inside information with NHL Press Pass, or jump to your favorite team's website 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world. Skate the web and score with NHL.com.
Hi, folks. Steve Levy, Barry Melrose back in our National Hockey Night studios, and obviously a pivotal game between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Buffalo Sabres. Interesting The Penguins right now, they're in the playoffs, yet Jaromir Jagr is going to play. Buffalo's not in, and Doug Gilmour's out of the lineup. I think it's a shocking development.
It is a shocking development because Gilmour was so good last night. 3 assists. I thought he was fantastic. That line has really had magic. I don't believe a player should be playing for individual stats right now. If Jagr is playing because he wants to get game ready, hasn't played a lot of games recently, if he's doing it for the team, I think that's a good reason. I don't think to win a scoring race is a good reason to be playing this time of the year.
All right, coming up in our first intermission, we'll unveil Barry's power play. He's a powerful guy, and
yes, I am.
Say if he was commissioner for a day or so. Ron Tugnut, is he the man to lead the Pens? The face-off is next.
Where would you like to go? How about Pep Boys?
For a limited time, get free installation when you buy Gabriel Pro Rider Premium Shocks for your truck, van, or SUV.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
Gentlemen, it's our turn.
In the last great war, a group of young Americans was sent to steal a secret from a Nazi submarine.
Move, move!
But just when they thought the mission was over, they lost their ride home.
Everybody locked up!
On April 21st,
Everything's in German!
get ready to go deep. U-571, rated PG-13, starts April 21st.
Freeze.
Cute.
Use 1-800-COLLECT. It's cheap, it's easy. The cheap part is you save $1 or $2. The easy part is
1-800-COLLECT, as in collect calls. Now that's easy to remember.
1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
If I could see my clients every day, I'd guarantee they'd never see another flake of dandruff. I tell them, use Head & Shoulders every time they shampoo. Flakes don't even stand a chance. Perfect.
ESPN's coverage of National Hockey Night is brought to you by Dodge, the official vehicles of the NHL. Dodge Different, by the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? And by the brewmasters at Budweiser, who remind you that fresh beer tastes better.
Welcome back to Buffalo, everybody. For Jaromir Jagr, not only positioning for the team, but for himself, he right now leads in the scoring race, 95 points. Pavel Bure is right behind him with 93, and we're in the last weekend of the regular season. A reminder, it'll end on Sunday. Regular season games to conclude it. National Hockey League on ABC. Check your local listings. Detroit, Colorado, Phoenix, Dallas, LA, and Anaheim. Live at 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific. And then next week, the Stanley Cup playoffs begin. ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC will have coverage. It all starts on Wednesday. Here we go again. The playoffs coming in the very week. Kind of hard to believe. Ceremonies here taking place in Buffalo. We'll delay the start of the game just for a moment. Give us a chance to take a look at our starting netminders in tonight's game. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, a veteran, Ron Tugnut, 32 years old.
Well, if my hunch is right, Ron Tugnut could be the busiest goaltender in all of the world tonight. Remember, the Penguins clinched a playoff spot Wednesday in Toronto. What's at stake for them? 7th or 8th. They don't know who's going to finish 1st or 2nd, so they have no idea how a win or a loss could affect their matchup in the first round. So Ron Tugnut could be very, very busy tonight.
And as expected in net, continuing the string to finish out the year, Dominic Hasek.
Well, no surprise here, and this is a freaky thing. You can make the statement that the Buffalo Sabres could go back to the Stanley Cup Finals if they can make the playoffs. That is how wacky this team has been this season.
And we are ready to go. Pittsburgh, Bob Bugner, Darius Kasparaitis on D. Jaromir Jagr will be out there with Hrdina and Joseph Baranek. For the Buffalo Sabres, Zhitnik and Smelik on defense. Verada, Pekka, and Siplikov will make the start. On the face-off, Michael Pekka against Jari Hrdina. Hrdina wins the draw, and we are underway. Yuri Slager trying to bang it out the near side. Vaclav Verada got it and sent it off the far side wall. Chris Taylor for Buffalo scratch, and of course Doug Gilmour out of there. So the Buffalo Sabres without Gilmour, who had 3 goals, 14 assists in 11 games since joining his team.
And the folks from Buffalo were telling us about Doug Gilmour on the plane ride home from New Jersey last night after their game. He was covered up in blankets, was still shaking, so you know he's sick. But you know, if this was the last game of the season and the Sabres needed it, Doug Gilmour would play. He's one of the toughest guys ever to play this game. I have a feeling the Sabres are figuring they may be able to get by Pittsburgh tonight without Doug Gilmour, and they're saving him for Sunday in the event that they need him to get into the playoffs.
What a difference. Here is Ray. Here the fans applauding. They're looking for a little physical play to take place here tonight.
Well, Rob Ray was supposed to be a scratch until Doug Gilmour went down, and now he's in.
Now Ray is in, and obviously he plays the game with a great physical presence. Off the far side, Balloon trying to clear it out of there, and it knocked away. Kasparaitis back. Tudnut will hold it up. Tudnut 11-11-4 lifetime against the Buffalo Sabres. Dominic Hasek at the other end. Hasek able to knock it down. He's 10-13-5 lifetime against Pittsburgh. Cleared up into the middle. Pittsburgh Penguins going to the playoffs looking for positioning. Backhander on. Tudnut knocked it away as Brown took it in on the backhand side. Off the near side wall, the attempt to clear. Bounces off bodies and out to center. Chased down Matthew Barnaby, of course, who used to be with the Buffalo Sabres, playing out there, number 36 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Kasparaitis has it. Cleared it up the near side. Nobody got anything on that, but they'll wave off the icing. And played by Dominic Hasek. McKee around the near side to Jason Woolley. Woolley looking up the wall, knocked away. Avanagenov had it and lost it. Still controlled and sent back in behind the net by Chris Gratton. Gratton trying to knock it down, did as it was coming off the dasher. Chris Gratton, a goal, 7 assists, his 13th game in a Buffalo uniform. Nagenov will take it back into his own end. Rob Brown came up with a forecheck with him. Both teams have completed line changes here. Knocked away Jeff Sanderson far side. Backed up into the zone. Johnson going back could be an icing call here, and there's the whistle.
Well, the one thing that Buffalo wants to do in this hockey game is really discourage the Penguins early. Remember, the Penguins' incentive is really kind of gray. It's not a black and white incentive because they don't know who's going to be seeded 1 or 2 in the East. And that's who the Penguins are going to play, either the 1 or the 2 seed, depending on whether or not they finish 7th or 8th. So what Buffalo wants to do is come out and do this. That's Eric Rasmussen on his ex-teammate Bob Bugner. Just crushed him in the corner. And the lead, I think, will be very important in this game. If Pittsburgh gets it, they'll have a reason to keep playing. If the Buffalo Sabres get it, they've got a chance to discourage the Penguins right away.
Carolina Panthers as interested a fan group as we will have for tonight's game. They are watching because a win tonight by the Buffalo Sabres, Carolina Hurricane rather, would be eliminated tonight if the Sabres come away with one. And now at the post, that went in! Pittsburgh's got the early 1-0 lead. Dominic Hasek went down on that shot from the blue line, looked as though it deflected and went right up over his shoulder and underneath the crossbar.
Did this take a wacky bounce or what? It got ripped from the point. I think Michael Rosabal let it rip, but Ian Moran is looking like he's got a big enough smile to take credit for this baby. But it bounced and kind of knuckleballed. I thought it had hit the crossbar at first, but apparently it went in and out of the net in a flash. And Dominic Hasek went down originally because the puck was coming to him low. Couldn't see it. Finally, the shot was launched. He went down, and then it hit somebody, Ian Moran, I believe, and went right up and over Hasek. I know Rosabal shot it. That's 28 black. We'll see who gets credit for it.
That may be the longest tip in the history of the NHL. There was nobody down inside the circle, actually, so the tip was way out.
Sure was.
Right around the face-off dot somewhere. Peter Popovic will play it out for Pittsburgh. They get the 1-0 lead on the first shot of the game. Back into the middle. Vaclav Varada's pass deflected away. Tried to set it up out in front. Siplikov has been red hot, was the man who had the chance. This line has played really well. Siplikov and Varada. Varada's had 2 goals, 3 assists in the last 4 games. And on the other side of that, you've got a red-hot Siplikov and a red-hot Varada. The 2 of them are playing together, trying to put some points on for a Buffalo team that looks for anyone to get them. Pass into the middle block, picked up by Bob Bugner, cleared back out into the middle. Baranek dropped it in. Baranek cutting into the net, past the end, deflected away off the stick of Jan Urdina. And the Sabres will gain the red. They want to change it up. Attempted dump in, blocked once, twice. Kasparaitis chases it in. Baranek gives him a hit after he dumped that off. Not out. Rep Warner. Warner centered it along the boards. Brown trying to hold it in. Warner. Rasmussen came out. Brown has it. And Buffalo's got to clear, so they'll take it back into their own end. A real quick goal in this game. And they're still trying to figure out who scored it. Shot by Shatan and a save made. No announcement on that goal yet. We understand why. Nobody saw it.
Dominic Hasek might be able to tell everybody. But Jaromir Jagr's line, and he's going to play with Baranek and Jan Urdina. You know that they're going to make plays to try to get the puck to Jagr, and when that happens, they're going to end up turning the puck over like they did here. But look at Jagr back check. He came all the way back and was in a position to transition and go the other way. I mean, if Jágr doesn't back check, that is an absolute clear-cut 3-on-1. And he worked all the way back to negate the attack by the Buffalo Sabres. So that's a step in the right direction in the effort department for the Penguins. When he is doing that, other people follow.
41 goals, 54 assists, 95 points. The NHL may have a year in which there is no 100-point player. They'll have to wait until Sunday night to see if that happens. Stan Mikita, the last time a scoring title was won without 100 points was Mikita. Way back in the 60s. Back up onto the point, off the face-off win. Slapped Zhitnik into the corner. Rasmussen came over to get it, dropped it out in front. Brown is open. The pass to Brown. Never got through. Chatan shot. That hit Brown. Deflected to Tugnutt. A real scramble in front of the net, and Ron Tugnutt, a couple of passes that came right back to Miroslav Chatan's stick.
Well, this is the way the Sabres have to play. I mean, if they get too fancy, the Pittsburgh Penguins, whether they have the effort tonight or not, will be able to win this game. But if you keep driving the net and force players to play a physical game, you can get the lead. This is how you discourage them. I mean, Curtis Brown was in there jamming away. Eric Rasmussen was over on the far side, and Chatan did the smart thing just by getting a sharp angle shot on there, hoping to get a rebound.
Two teams who lead different lives. As the Pittsburgh Penguins go for offense, they're tied for 6th. Their defense is 20th. Buffalo's the other way around. They are 18th in offense, and they are 8th on defense. One lives by shooting the puck, and the other by stopping it. Understandably so. When you've got Jágr on one side, it's got to be offensive, and Hasek on the other, it's got to be defensive. Roll back out into the middle. They'll just dump it in off the near side boards. Matthew Barnaby sent it in. Played up the near side by Hasek. He got caught up a bit, but got back in the net. He was tied up with Alexei Morozov there for a minute. Sabres get it out. 4 minutes into this first period. Still, shots are just 3 total. Pittsburgh's had only 1, and that's the one that went in the net. There's still no announcement on who scored it. Save made by Hasek right along the ice. Morozov's chance, and we held on to for a face-off.
All right, Sabre fans, we're in section 100 with tonight's McDonald's Bar and Play contestant.
I guess now is as good a time as any to kind of fess up, Gary, that we spent 30 minutes before this game talking about the different permutations, the possible matchups.
Take it away, partner.
Well, no, we had to actually decide what was information overload and what wasn't, and we quickly decided that there was a ton that would be information overload. We can tell everybody that the Buffalo Sabres and the Pittsburgh Penguins, right? Buffalo, should they make the playoffs, will play one of the following teams, both of these guys: Philadelphia, Washington, Toronto, New Jersey, or Florida. One of those 5 teams will face either the Sabres or the Penguins, should the Sabres make the playoffs. And that's as far as I'm going.
Jaromir Jágr came off the bench and intercepted that. Well, that company that has the headache medicine, that was headache number 205. Pittsburgh back on the touch-up. Baranek got it. Hard to believe. You can still, we're laughing about this now with the final weekend of the regular season, and still it is so wide open.
Tailor-made for shooting an Excedrin commercial as we were trying to figure it out.
See the 3 teams who are at the bottom racing for that spot. Sabres, Canadians, and Hurricanes. That's what's left on each of their schedules.
Well, the Hurricanes play Atlanta twice. Figure they could get 4 points there. And that is why the Buffalo Sabres know they have to win some hockey games. Montreal's got the 1 game left.
John Herdina, the best face-off man for the Pens. 54% of the time wins it. Rolled that one in front off the draw. Zhitnik was there to block it before he got through, though, and cleared back out to center. 1-0 lead. Pens are on top. Do we have the announcement? We do not. They're still trying to figure out who scored that goal. Michael Becca knocked it away at center. We cleared it off the far side. Off the boards. Han Janssen got that one out of there. Here's Jaromir Jágr. Jágr pinned up on the far side wall. Got it into the middle. Shot. Dominik Hasek hangs on as Baranek was set up by Jaromir Jágr.
Gary, I can guess why this is taking some time, because it's an important goal for either Ian Moran or Michael Roosevelt. It would be their 5th.
There you go. Probably a contract revision that pays $100,000 if you reach that point. Yuri Slager drops it off far side. Jaromir Jágr back to him at the point. Jágr looking into the middle was double teamed. Stolen away by Zhitnik. Zhitnik sends it off the near side. Barada came up to help him. Zhitnik will reverse direction on this. Schmelik back waiting. Up into the middle. Pittsburgh changing. Buffalo tried to catch him in it. They'll have to dump it in. Barada sent it in. Tugnutt holds it. Rob Brown around the far side boards. Rolls right across the blue line. Pittsburgh will complete their line change, having gotten that out of the zone and out to center ice. Off the far side, Jeff Sanderson coming over to get it, and that's going to be whistled the offside. Gilmore leading scorer for Buffalo. 25 goals, 48 assists. Pittsburgh led by Yager, of course, in all three categories. Herb Brooks, head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, probably not coming back next year, but this season, 28, 22, 5 since he took over.
He's done a heck of a job. And in conjunction with the moves that general manager Craig Patrick made at the trading deadline, the Penguins are in the playoffs. They were dead in the water 3 weeks ago. They were not going to make the playoffs. Craig Patrick at the trading deadline was bold. He made terrific deals. This team has a new energy, has a new attitude, also has a bunch of new players. And with Herb Brooks behind the bench and Craig Patrick's maneuvers, this franchise that really needed to make the playoffs is in.
They're in there. Ian Moran credited with a goal. It is a career-high 5th goal for him this season. Ian Moran got it, and it is a 1-0 lead. He's the one who had that deep deflection. Roosevelt and Robert Lang pick up the assist at 1:38 of the first period. Swept around by Lang on the far side. Out along the boards, Brown just tipped it away to center. Jeff Sanderson came back to get it. Sanderson, 13 goals, 13 assists. Lucky 13s for him on the year. That's him battling and has the puck in the skates over there. And he hasn't got a whistle. He thought he was going to get a whistle. Everybody backed off for Pittsburgh, though, and officials said, let's keep this going. Mark Fawcett, Stephen Wacholm, the referee.
As they should have. I mean, there's no way a player should be allowed to freeze the puck when nobody's around. For that matter, when anybody's around.
Just back it off, and you'll hear the officials always hollering, keep it moving. They want the game to keep going. Afanasyenov at the blue line. His chances blocked, affected high off the glass into the corner. They set up out in front, trying to hit. Out in front, couldn't get it there. And they had a couple players set up in front, including Stu Barnes, came back into the middle. Pittsburgh again over the board. Brett Warner winding up, dropped it. Back, Rob Ray went right by the puck that time as he was cutting down the middle. Delayed offside call. Pittsburgh with a free out here if they can get it there. Matthew Barnaby does. Barnaby gains the red, dropped it off. Little booze as Barnaby had the puck. Shot back off the near side. Pittsburgh was changing, had nobody on the near side point. Popovich will clear that one back. And anyone touched that one, rolled in, no, won't matter. Played by Dominic Hasek. McKee cleared it around the near side. Brett Warner up the board. Ray trying to hang on to that one, bounced away from him. Morozov went over, and Barnaby had not come out. 12:45 to go, first period. First shot of the game ended up being Ian Moran's, and he celebrates because it was tipped in. 1-0 Pens.
What will your first act as commissioner of the Bubble Boys Hockey League be?
Right now, we have a great thing going with the red and blue teams, but down the road, I see us trying to expand. We'll add colors, orange, green, black, and my favorite, a crew.
What's in a crew?
Shut up! What else, Wade?
Well, if we're going to be as big as the NHL, we're really going to have to promote our stars.
Murph, how do I look?
Guys like Radio Robert.
What? Not the Tin Man.
Punks.
Wait, how about a pitcher?
This is an outrage!
I knew I should have stayed home.
Pretty boy!
Welcome back, everybody. There's Ian Moran over there after this one went in.
Well, there was such a crowd of people on the way to the net. Oh, you know what? That might have actually been a double deflection. I think that's why it might have been difficult to call. It almost looked like it was tipped there and then again by Ian Moran.
Wow. Straight through the middle, Shatan. Brett Warner, his chance was blocked down on the ice. To block it, Hans Johnson. Warner again, that one wide. Buffalo Sabres trying to crowd in front. They had Shatan down low in front of Tugnut. McKee's shot deflected, saved by Tugnut. And Pittsburgh will just dump that one out to take the heat off and take the icing call. Good pressure by the Sabres. Best they've had so far in the game.
Pretty good pressure by the Sabres, but when you've got the Penguins down, blocking shots, paying the price, I mean, I'm really impressed with how Pittsburgh has come out here ready to play. You'd think that the Buffalo Sabres would just be smothering them with energy and with the forecheck. That isn't happening. The Pittsburgh Penguins came to strap on the gear again and do a real workmanlike job. They should be proud of their efforts so far.
They're sitting out 2 starters. Yanni Laukkanen, a defenseman, and Martin Straka, just healthy scratches to give them a rest in this game. Rene Corbeil, Tom Chorsky, Tyler Wright are out of there. Injuries for Chorsky and Corbeil and Wright. And Jean-Sébastien Aubin, their goaltender, left ankle problems out. That one wristed wide from the point. Richard Schmelik trying to dump it in. Stepping up, held back in behind the net. Good work by Sitnikov. Sitnikov wanted a call. He got nailed on the far side and didn't get a whistle. Back at the other end, Brown came back to get it. Brown reversing direction. Vaclav Barada put it into the middle, and they get it out of the zone. Jitnik was back to help. And along the board, we've not seen the big-time hitting early on, but it's starting to pick up right here.
You'll see it if Vaclav Barada's out there with Sitnikov, and they really go after Bob Bugner, who they both know. I mean, they played against him, and Barada played with him. But Bugner is, I think, the key addition to the Penguins at the trading deadline.
Bugner playing in his 11th game. He's had 1 goal and is a +2 for Bob Bugner since coming over in the deal. On the near side, Sabres able to get it back. Yager's back out at center. Yager looking up ice for a little help as Baranek came with him. Bounced off the deflection. Schmelik along the near side needed help. Whistle. That's going to be a delayed offside call with the Pens still up 1-0. Take a look at our Bud Light plus-minus leaderboard. Someone's going to pick up that Plus award, and right now Pronger's up on Chelios by 4 with Pavel Demitra of the Blues at 34, the top 3 plus-minus on our Bud Light plus-minus leaderboard.
There's Michael Pekka, who puts up consistently good plus-minus numbers. Hasn't been in the minus column in 3 years at season's end. And they've got a real successful line. You see Dixon Ward on the left. Well, he has been kind of shuffled off of the Michael Pekka line when they have a healthy lineup, and Vladimir Sitnikov has taken Dixon Ward's spot, and the result has been just terrific. I mean, the Sabres are getting great mileage out of all 3 of those guys.
Jay McKee cleared it around, but it came off the boards into the middle. Good work by Warren, who came up and poked that away. This will be chased back in behind the net on the touch-up. Oh, no. Wave it off. Should have had a touch-up and didn't get it. Jammed off the side of the net. Tugnutt was there to block the short side. Chaton and Chris Gratton, good work in behind the net to keep the puck alive and then get a chance out of it. Dumped in on the near side by Robert Lang. Brown putting the hit on. Helmet comes off. Up the near side. Avdija looking to move that one out and does. Buffalo wants to change it up behind the play. Centering pass deflected. Buffalo got a piece of that one, and Tugnutt will hang on to it. 2 hot teams. Pittsburgh's won their last 2, 4-1 in their last 5. Buffalo's a 3-game win streak coming in. There's Gratton. We were talking about the physical presence he'd bring. He just showed it.
Yeah, you got to get the puck into certain areas of the ice before it's a factor. And this was actually waved off. It was supposed to be an icing call. Chris Gratton, with his speed and his size, just twisted Michael Grosval around a couple of times before Jeff Sanderson stepped out and had a pretty decent scoring chance. The Sabres are still trying to make a lot of cute plays at the Pittsburgh blue line, and Pittsburgh's done a great job of back-checking, putting the backside pressure on. And I really think if Buffalo gets the puck deep, they can get something done because of guys like Chris Gratton. But if they want to try to dangle with it in the blue line, they're playing into the Penguins' hands.
Both these teams are playing 500 hockey. Pittsburgh 36-36-8. Buffalo 35-35-10. Both want to be above that come Sunday night. Off the near side, Herdina got spun around, had it, and got it away to Barnaby. Yager. The collision at center ice as Yager got taken out of the play. As Siplikov's been on him all night. Siplikov puck hit the back of his skates and he did not realize it. He'll come into the middle, and there he be. Siplikov moving in. Good poke check. Yuri Slager reached out. Look who's hanging. Back it the other way, Jaromir Jagr. We were told the other night Jaromir Jagr spent a lot of time at center ice.
Well, he did on this play, but you know why? He went right up to Steve Walkham, dabbing in his mouth, because I think he got high stick trying to split the D before that.
Good reason to hang there. Centering pass, and it's gloved towards the net. That would have been an interesting call. That one got gloved in as Zhitnik was coming through the middle. He reached out and deflected it in. Save made by Tugnut on it. They kept it alive. Jammed up along the boards. Michael Pekka moved over. Slager moved him off the play. Jágr got it back up on the far side. Jágr coming. Pittsburgh changing. Jágr's alone. Jágr in. Shot. Dominik Hasek a save. Rebound away to Pekka. Off the glass and out. And this will be an icing call. Stopping the clock in the first period with 9:04 to go. And the Ian Moran goal, the only one on the board.
Fans decided that was the first.
Wait. How would you have done playing in the Bubble Boys League?
Where is he? He's behind the net again. Go get him. We can't. We don't go back there. Look, his arms and legs are moving. He is smaller in person. Hey.
I think it had done pretty well.
What did he say? Let me at him.
Go ahead.
You're not going to stop me?
New Dakota Quad Cab has best-in-class cargo volume and big back doors that lead to best-in-class room for putting things you don't want outside, inside, and vice versa. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Oops, that's better. Outside. Dodge Dakota Quad Cab. Big room, big doors, big difference.
Today was a good day. I sent my grandkids off to Istanbul alone. I got rid of my cousin Oliver. Yeah! Today, I heard voices. Today was a good day. Yeah.
Bye, Grandpa.
Bye, kids. Ciao, you old bugger. Yeah! I heard voices. Fantastic day. Yeah.
Well, there's Jaromir Jágr. Looks like his lip is okay now for at least a few seconds. He was dabbing at it. I want to show you what happened here. He got hit in the face. Now, the miracle cure here is called puck possession. The Penguins don't have the puck. What? They got it! I feel better! I'm cured! I'm healed!
Here we are at Camp Granada. Don't like defense, love the offense. Get the puck in my look, well better. Off the left wing side, it is Dixon Ward moving in. Shot, and Tugnut's got it. And he'll hang on after Jenoff was cutting through the middle that time, ran into the glove extended, and the Pens say, no, don't do that. Kasparaitis is one of those who roams around as a traffic cop for Pittsburgh.
Well, everybody's starting to play the way they have to for the Sabres to get them into the playoffs. One guy we knew would be jacked up here is Matt Barnaby. Didn't matter if the Penguins made the playoffs a couple of days ago. Matt Barnaby comes back into the rink where they loved him, and many learned to hate right away as soon as he came back in a Penguins uniform. But he's always jacked. I don't think it matters who he's playing, where he's playing. He could be playing at 4 a.m. or 4 in the afternoon.
Pittsburgh has won 2 and tied 1 against Buffalo in the previous 3 games. So the Sabres looking to get this win. Bear in mind, Pittsburgh knows they're going to the playoffs. They don't know if they'll be in the 7th or 8th position. That one wide. The far side boards held in. Jason Woolley deflected out in front. Kicked away Kasparaitis. Rolls off the near side. Buffalo Sabres not guaranteed a playoff spot. The Hurricanes, Montreal, and Buffalo battling for their final position in the East. Lang wide side. And out in front was Brown waiting. Lang's got it. Lang a shot. Hasek makes the save. Robert Lang trying to decide whether to shoot or pass to Brown. Took it. Hasek had it.
Boy, but what a move Robert Lang put on James Patrick. Yikes. Robert Lang looking at Dominik Hasek saying, yeah, you got me that time. I'll get you next time. Wrong. You won't get Dominik. Well, you might get him next time, but doubtful. Not the way Hasek is playing. Good idea by Kovalev to shoot. Watch what Lang does here. Pulls it to the backhand and then makes a switch back to the forehand. And James Patrick went down and just slid out of the way. Watch this. Shoot. No. Deep. Yeah, James Patrick fishing back and forth both ways. Dominik Hasek was pretty deep in the net here, I think, anticipating the possible pass.
Dominik Hasek with a save, and Podlitz will send it back in. Hasek will just let that one roll, and McKee will pick it up. Buffalo, Jágr right off the bench again. Jágr's done that a couple of times. Herb Brooks is letting him come off the bench as after a face-off, trying to catch the Buffalo Sabres without the matchup they want out there. And that's one of the reasons Pittsburgh is 8th at home and 24th on the road as far as their record is concerned. Matchups obviously matter when teams can get the defense out there against Jaromir Jagr that they want. And Pittsburgh has struggled with just 13 wins, 25 losses, and a tie on the road this year. Back in behind the net, Pittsburgh again getting possession. Roosevelt was back there. Cleared up the near side, knocked away from Barnaby. Brown's got it. And this Brown turned it in on Rasmussen. He couldn't control. Shot right back out, and McKee will come back to get it. Off the near side, with both teams changing, Warner looked up, had nobody there. Taken back Roosevelt and out through center off Verdina's stick. Now Buffalo Sabres change it as we play tic-tac at center. Gary Slager, McKee. Again, it was Jagr hanging off on that right wing side that he was trying to hit. Up through the middle, Rhett Warner got it out of there. Chris Gratton sent it. Long side, straight down the middle. Offside. Stu Barnes. Too soon. I want to remind you, NCAA Frozen Four Championship College Hockey. The two who are left, the North Dakota Fighting Sioux and the Boston College Eagles, will go at it 7:30 tomorrow Eastern on ESPN. Congratulations to the Sioux and the Eagles. College hockey's final two. Face-off will come back outside the line, and Stu Barnes will come out to take the face-off. And Matthew Barnaby, and then he was against, lost it. Off the near side, Schmelik will send that one in. Dumped it in behind the net. Kasparaitis. The Tugnut had slowed it down. A 1-0 Pens lead here in the first period. Off the far side, Barnaby racing. Looking into the middle. Rose off cutting. Couldn't get through to him. Schmelik was there and cleared that out of the zone. Back for it, Bob Bugner. Bugner and Kasparaitis teamed up. It's a tough twosome. That was a two-line pass, and that'll be whistled.
A couple of minutes ago, we were talking about just how jazzed up and revved up Matthew Barnaby gets when he plays the Sabres. He played him in Pittsburgh and he scored. You think he liked it? Later that month, he met up with his good pal Rob Ray at another tilt. That one was here in Buffalo. And I'm serious when I say that they're good pals off the ice.
Oh my gosh, and that's my dad. Matthew's the son, Christine's the wife. Barnaby Ross.
The little guy's not even 2 yet, and he's hanging over the glass. A great hockey fan already when Dad's on the ice.
I love that look right there. Chris Gratton came over, banging away for the puck. Poke checked it away, and Buffalo able to hold it in. Gratton shot deflected. Good work in front. Hans Johnson came on to help, blocking it. Chris Gratton again, and again the shot deflected to the near side wall. Held in. Schmelik got it away, looking, and it was loose. Barnes was there, couldn't pick up on the rebound on the Jeff Sanderson shot. Cleared back in behind the net. Chris Gratton came back to get it again. Pittsburgh having trouble clearing here. We'll just poke that off the glass and out. Played back by Zhitnik. Zhitnik turns into the middle. Zhitnik with a little room. Zhitnik on the forehand side. Just enough of him on Johnson. Tugnut reaching on a no-angle chance. Chris Gratton shot came through and a save made. Rebound loose in front. Batted away and out. Buffalo's keeping the heat on. 3 players out in front of Tugnut most of the time.
Gary, they're keeping the heat on, but they're leaving themselves wide open for a break going the other way. I mean, as Lindy Ruff said today, he said our style is going to be full court press. Everybody up. That's the way they've played lately. Defensemen pinching in on both sides all the way into the corners.
So it is still a 1-0 lead. The goal came at 1:38. Ian Moran got it. Buffalo Sabres. 2 games left. They need 3 points to guarantee a playoff spot.
Hello, I'm Mark John Jeffries, and I'm here to talk with you about People PC. What is People PC, you ask? It's simple. 1, a new brand name PC replaced every 3 years. 2, unlimited internet. 3, in-home service. Yep, if all else fails, they come to you. 4, great deals on stuff you like from places you know. All for $24.95 a month. That's it. Let's review. For about the cost of internet service alone over here, you get unlimited internet, a new computer, in-home service, and great deals over here. All for $24.95 a month. How? Strength in numbers, my friends. Folks, I'm Mark John Jeffries for People PC. Thank you, and God bless.
If you have thinning hair, you can get this hair loss research update free by calling 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now. I could control the way my body looks, but not my hair. I was very confused about what to do when I started losing my hair. I didn't know where to start. I was looking for some real answers, and I got them from Hair Club's latest hair loss research update. It gave me the facts that I needed to make the right decision about my thinning hair. Now that I have my hair back, I'm glad I made that call. You can get this hair loss research update free by calling 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now.
Pittsburgh looking for their third win in a row. Curtis Brown in for the Sabres to take the face-off. And the draw will just be flipped out of the zone to center ice. Rob Brown got it out of there. Shatan will send it back in. Tugnut back. Tugnut coming off the Pittsburgh win against Toronto 4-2 Wednesday at 31 saves. Great outing for him. Buffalo got a 5-0 win against the New Jersey team that's struggling to hang on to that #1 spot. Down the middle, shot partially blocked and deflected on Kovalev. Kovalev has had 4 goals, 3 assists, is down behind the play. There he is. He's the one who took the shot coming through the middle, got jammed and knocked down.
Rasmussen got him. And this,
centering pass just a little bit too high on the aerial for Shatan to handle. Miroslav Shatan, their leading goal scorer, with 33.
Kovalev's finally decided to get off the ice. I mean, he's still hurting, and the Penguins don't want to lose him. He's been a real important guy.
Shatan got it in, tugged out the save on Curtis Brown. Brown who can score 22 goals, 29 assists, and a +19 for Curtis Brown. McKee and Yager. Yager trying to avoid the icing, could not get there in time. I want to remind you, there's Kovalev on the bench that our Dodge Intermission report is just 4:28 playing time away. All kinds of important games going on. Barry's power play, the Oilers controlling their own destiny, and the Devils, whom we were talking about in that free fall. Coming up.
Here's what happened to Kovalev when he was coming through the middle. Rasmussen hit him from behind as he was letting the shot go. I don't know what happened, whether it was wind or shoulder or something. He hit him upstairs, hit him up high. Didn't hit him in the head, though. It didn't look like he hit him that hard, but the key there was it didn't look like Kovalev knew he was coming. He's still hurting over there.
He tried to stay out on the ice and couldn't stay there. Hard down right there, and a payback on Vaclav Varada by Bugner. Bob Bugner able to clear that out, but he's taking a second look at Varada. That was a nasty spill.
Oh,
this will be touched, and he's complaining to the official about it behind the play.
Yeah, as he should have. I think it was a leg push from behind. The way Bob Bugner wiped out, and about every month one of these plays happens. Seeing 25 white. Yeah, see, he got him with the right. He actually gave him a push, but it wasn't what I thought it was. I thought it would be with the flat part of the blade, but it looked like he really interrupted the right leg action of Bob Bugner. Sent him out of control into the boards, and Varada's strong enough to do that with hardly any movement, just a little jab, down you go.
Kasparaitis unhappy. Bugner is his defensive mate out there, and
you see Kasparaitis, he's talking to nobody.
That's better that way, actually.
He is so emotional. I remember seeing him in the Olympics as an 18-year-old, and he was yelling and screaming on the ice at nobody in particular.
Gotta love that. Played around by Tugnut. Jaromir Jagr back out. Got it into the middle. Had it blocked by Siplikov again. Siplikov and that line has been out there against Jaromir Jagr, I think, just about every shift. At the point, wound up Siplikov. That one wide. He didn't get it to sit for the first chance. Held in Michael Pekka, Siplikov, and Varada on this line. Taken away by Hans Janssen. And into the middle they come with Yuri Slager. Slager moves it up. Gained the blue, dumped it in. Knocked away by Dominik Hasek. Schmelik over to help. Schmelik lost it. Centering past Pittsburgh, had nobody there. Pekka just picked that one up, cleared it out 3-on-3 the other way. Off the near side, Siplikov trying to get it over to Michael Pekka. Bouncing puck into the corner. Hans Janssen again on Michael Pekka into the middle. Poke check point the key. Dumped it back into the corner. Centered Slager in the intercept. Slager up the glass and out of the zone. Jagger's line off for Pittsburgh. They'll change it up right here. Verada will take the blue line chance. Near side, knocked away by Ron Tugnut and picked up by Yuri Slager. Ron Tugnut going to be a really important part of this Pittsburgh team with the injury to Aubin. Out of there for the not sure how long ankle injury. And Tugnut knocked that away in the backhand channel. That one just run around. Jess Sanderson went behind the net and backed it out in front. Down the middle they come. Good stand-up by Pat Balloon, but he didn't have the puck. They're through center by Rhett Warren. And it'll be dumped in again. Tugnut wanting to play this. Not into the middle. Barnaby was there, but couldn't handle it. Sabres get it back. Chris Gratton had it. 2-on-1 down low. Barnaby shot, save, rebound, and it's cleared up and out. Kelsey. Tugnut made the initial save, but that puck was just sitting out in front that time.
And that's why it was a good decision by Stu Barnes to wind up and let her rip. Tugnut just stoned him, robbed him at the right pad. But Barnes' decision to shoot was right because what he was looking for was a rebound there, and it just about happened.
It was sitting there, but nobody could get a stick on it in time to put it to the back of the net. And speaking of the net, there it goes. Jason Woolley got that one and got the whistle. 2:08 to go. Let's check in with Steve Levy. Steve.
Gary, thank you. The new Dodge takes us to Detroit. You know, the Washington Capitals can take over the top spot in the Eastern Conference all by themselves officially tonight. By virtue of the tiebreaker, they're off to a good start. Adam Oates, they've got a 1-0 lead at Detroit, guys.
Washington still has some positioning to take care of in the Eastern Conference. So the games for them this weekend are important.
There's the shot by Stu Barnes that really looked like it was ripped for a spot just inside the post. See, Ron Tugnut's really trusting his defenseman, Bob Boughner, there. He's way out of the crease, cutting down the angle. Not only could he trust him to cut the pass, but he trusted him to take away the rebound. He got them both.
Good play by Boughner. Dixon Ward coming out. We're going to get a tripping call here, I think. You saw that one coming. They'll do it as a hook. Buffalo doesn't like it, feeling that it might be some sort of a make-good for a non-call before, and by that smile, cynical as it is on Mr. Ruff's face, he thinks the same thing.
Yeah,
nevertheless,
don't believe the smile. He ain't liking it. Not at all.
Woolley's out of there on the hook at 17:58. First penalty of the game.
Well, it's good to see Alex Kovalev out there. You know, he could have called for a hold. I think if he hadn't grabbed him the first time with the glove before he dragged him down, he might have gotten away with it, but he could have been called twice there.
So the Pittsburgh Penguins, who have the 1-0 lead on the Ian Moran goal at 1:38, go to the power play here. For Pittsburgh, tied for 18th on the power play, even with Jaromir Jagr. See what they can do with it here. Kovalev back. 13 power play goals for Robert Lang and 10 for Jagr, their two leading power play scorers. There's Lang, sends it back out. Kovalev will lurk along the point here. They'll have just the one defenseman back, Hans Johnson. And Lang will set up in front of the net. Jagr on the half wall on the far side, trying to create that 2-on-1 down low when they can get it. Jagr moving in. Lang, open shot, blocked into the corner. Dixon Ward just held his ground on that one and cleared out by Michael Pekka. Penalty killing unit, Buffalo Sabres is ranked 13th. Buffalo has had a terrible power play team. They scored only 37 and given up 54. And yet they've got a chance to go into the playoffs, and it's their penalty killing unit working right now. Kovalev leaves it back in his own end. Changing up on the far side. Jagr will stay out on the so-called second unit. Minute on the power play and a minute 1 in the period. Slager takes it back at the red line, forcing Pittsburgh back deep. A little chase down. Curtis Brown, the man up on the short-handed forecheck right there. Jagr still out. Jagr playing the whole power play. Got it in. Joseph Baranek leaves it. Slager, his shot. That one's blocked by Curtis Brown into the seats. 42 to go in the period. Enough time for the power play to be fully completed. Want to remind you, on ESPN2, National Hockey Night tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Boston Bruins and the Philadelphia Flyers. If the Flyers win their next 2 games, they will be the #1 seed in the East. Could face the Sabres, could face the Pens if they get to that spot.
Oh, give us the other possibles, Gare.
Well, Philly could finish 1, 2, 4, or 5.
There you go. That's good.
Is that close enough?
Very good.
1, 2, 4, or 5 with 2 games left.
Amazing. Well, and these 2 teams that we're seeing tonight could play any one of 5 teams. It's Friday night, isn't it?
And here are the Buffalo Sabres, who have destiny in their own hands. They could finish 7, 8, 9, or 10 before Sunday night comes. And the power play not very effective here. Short-handed unit of Buffalo getting it done. Shot deflected off Kasparaitis, brought up by Zhitnik, who had the chance. Chased back down deeper in the zone by Hrdina. Power play's got 13 seconds left on it, and there's about 1 second left to go, more than that, in the period. Dumped in wide, intended for Hrdina. Played by Dominic Hasek. The key on the backhand, didn't get a lot on it. Good pass into the middle out of Dixon Ward. Ward moves it up. Penalty killer, and that'll do it. Power play over. 0 for 1. 1 goal up on the board. Ian Moran got it. It came at 1:38. And that's how we're going to finish this first period. Shots are 10-5 in favor of Buffalo. Pittsburgh 1, Sabres 0. Stephen Barry.
All right, Gary and Bill, thanks. We'll see you in a little bit for second period action from Western New York. Looked like Buffalo's a little shell-shocked after that early first goal by Pittsburgh.
Well, if you'd watched the game last night, they played so well and they're so strong. I really think that they thought they would come in here and take the lead. Buffalo, like every other team with a good defense and a good goaltender, play much better with a lead. So they got back on the heels for a while. I thought the last 4 or 5 minutes they started taking over again. But it's up to guys like Pekka and Gratton and those veteran players that they have now to turn this thing around without Gilmore.
All right, Pittsburgh is unbeaten in the season series, 2-0-1 so far against the Sabres, and they lead 1-0 after one period of play. Barry and I are back. We've got Barry's power play. It's all coming up on the Dodge Intermission Report. We'll look at the #1 team in the NHL and what's wrong with the standings. Stick around.
Dodge Dakota brings you a startling new advancement. Doors, great big ones, on the driver's side and the passenger side, each with windows that go all the way down. So what's the big deal about 2 great big wide opening doors? Nothing. But 4 is a different story. Real truck, real doors. Dodge Dakota Quad Cab. Different.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. And in closing, I'd just like to say that I'm going to give this job everything I've got.
What? It is over? No questions for us?
Well, he's a star. Hey, watch your mouth.
Hey, Wayne. You and your wife want to go to a party?
Sure. Can my friends come with us?
Ooh la la.
Absolutely.
Hello, baby.
Hey, girls.
I told you, he is the great one.
That's not what you said.
All hail Wayne.
Oh, boy.
Cloaked in mystery, eagerly anticipated. It's been analyzed and scrutinized by some of the finest minds in the business. But it all began with a simple truth. If the bread tastes better, the sandwich will too. Ultimately, it received the hearty approval of one and all, including you, the customer. It's the new bread at Subway.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Baked fresh daily. Try it on your favorite sandwich. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Baby, show me 1 + 1 is 2. Show me all the things that you can do.
From coast to coast, from high to goodbye. That's the power of 2. Introducing Sprint 1000. 1,000 minutes of long distance for just $20 a month. That's as low as 2 cents a minute. Every night or all weekend long. The choice is yours. That's the power of 2. Anything more would be too much.
Baby, show me 1 + 1 is 2.
Switch to Sprint 1000 at 1-800-PIN-DROP.
Well?
I asked my doctor about Lipitor.
Ask your doctor what Lipitor can do for you. Or call 1-888-LIPITOR to learn more. Lipitor.
It took a while to determine it, but Ian Moran has the only goal of our game, 1-0 Pittsburgh over Buffalo. This is the Dodge Intermission Report. And as you probably know, in Barry Melrose' 7 years in the National Hockey League, he didn't get a whole lot of power play time. So we're going to make up for that.
Caused a lot.
We're going to make up for that here on our final regular season edition of National Hockey Night. Barry, this is your chance, 2 minutes on the clock, to fire away at some of the things that you think are wrong with the National Hockey League.
Well, first off, what I hate is the divisional play right now. What we have, and it's rewarding teams that are average. Right now, situation you see right there, the Avalanche are in 3rd spot, but they're the poorest team of the top 3. And don't forget, they're in a division that is the worst division in the Western Conference. So they're compounding that fact, but they're playing against the worst teams more. So really rewarding mediocrity and rewarding teams that aren't doing so well. What I want to do is get back to the old days, the good old days. You're going to have 30 teams next year. Just line them up, 30 teams, play an even schedule where everybody plays everybody the same amount, and you start with 1 and you go to 16. I like the fact that there's only a little bit more than half the teams get into the playoffs. That makes it hard to get into the playoffs, but the team that finishes first, like St. Louis, should be rewarded by playing the 16th team. And doesn't matter which division you're in, doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter where you sleep, 1 to 16 make the playoffs, reward the teams that are playing great.
So you're saying forget divisional play altogether? Yep. No divisional rivalries? Forget East-West? Wipe all that out?
Rivalries only matter if you're a good team. No one cares about the Rangers playing the New York Islanders unless you live in those cities. This is a national sport now. Everything I hear, we've got to become a national sport. We've got to become a national sport. Well, let's have Detroit coming into everybody's building 3 times. That's much more important than seeing Atlanta 5 times or 6 times. Make it a national sport. So reward the teams that are playing well. That's what sports is all about, especially hockey. Reward the people that pay the biggest price.
Even in Atlanta, they might agree with that, actually.
They do. Don't worry.
Norris
but that will change. That'll change.
When they become good.
When they become good.
Cyclical.
Yes, it is.
As you know. Norris Trophy, the best best defenseman in the National Hockey League. Is it a no-brainer, Chris Pronger, this year in the Blues?
Well, some people think it is, but those are people without brains, just as you said. Chris Pronger's having a great season. I love Chris Pronger, but my pick is Nicholas Lidstrom. This guy is having a career year point-wise. He's always among league leaders in minutes played. He hardly ever takes any penalty minutes. He's always on the ice a ton. He's won 2 Stanley Cups, so you can't say this guy isn't a winner. He's having a career year of a guy that's been one of the best defensemen in the NHL. This guy, this season, deserves a Norris Trophy.
So Barry Melrose, the classic, hard to play against, tough guy, nasty, gritty, tough guy. This guy's Nicholas Lidstrom's never had a fighting major. He's had 1 roughing minor in his career. He could win the Lady Byng, and you've got him for the Norris.
There's 2 kinds of bravery in this world. There's the Chris Pronger bravery that initiates physical play, that is hard to play against, that is nasty in front of his net. But there's also the kind of bravery that Nicholas Lidstrom has, a guy that plays against every top forward. He's a lot like my old friend Boreas Allman. Doesn't matter who he plays against. He's never beaten physically on a loose puck. He's always into the corner first. He doesn't look over his shoulder to see who he's playing against. It might be Ty Domi, it might be Simon. It doesn't matter. This guy's a brave player in a different way.
Well, Nicholas Lidstrom is everything that is right with the National Hockey League. It's been a tough regular season, from Marty McSorley to Scott Niedermayer to Kevin Stevens to the Rangers and Blackhawks, big major market teams not making the playoffs. It's been a tough regular season. The best is yet to come with the postseason.
I disagree. I think this has been a great season with the NHL. I think so many things are so positive. We've got great races. We've got great individual numbers. We got people that are doing special things. The people that complain about hockey are the people that don't understand the hockey mentality. They want McSorley hung by the highest tree in Washington, but yet it's okay for Randy Johnson to throw a fastball at someone's head because Randy Johnson has to have the right to protect his batters. It can't be 2 ways. These people that are complaining about hockey must get out and get to know our athletes. Hockey embodies everything that's great about sports. Sacrifice. Guys like Eisenman and Madonna, they've given up personal numbers for their team to win. You see bravery. 22 months of playing every second day, going nose-to-nose travel. No other sport in the world has that to do. Hockey is a special sport, and if these people would get to know hockey and work a little bit and learn the athlete, they wouldn't complain so much about hockey. This is the best sport in the world. Ask Larry Walker. He's only playing baseball because he couldn't play hockey.
Good to know you were back on the power play on the point there.
Yes, I was.
0 for 1 on the Barry Melrose power play. ABC Sports, we got 3 more great games for you coming up Sunday, live at 3 Eastern. Detroit, Colorado, Phoenix, Dallas, and LA, Anaheim. 3 Eastern on ABC.
Tonight's intermission report is presented by Dodge, the official vehicles of the NHL. Dodge different.
It changed the rules, and with each innovation, its reputation grows. Now Dodge Ram is offering an even higher output Cummins turbo diesel on 2001 models with more power and more raw torque than any full-size diesel pickup on the planet. Leadership can be a heavy burden. We'll handle it. Now get a $1,000 cash allowance on 2000 model year Rams.
Die! Die! Die!
U-571, rated PG-13, starts Friday, April 21st at theaters everywhere.
I love strawberries.
I love you.
Mozzarella, luscious toppings, a fresh baked crust. You invited a pizza delivery guy here? What kind of girl do you think I am?
But it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
For fresh baked pizza at home, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
I'll call you.
Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Now at Pep Boys, all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for only $99, and all 70,000-mile tires 4 for $169.
Pep Boys, cars like us.
People love us.
What do you know? What don't you know? How do you propose to find out? The power of J.P. Morgan. Wealth management online.
They defy all human instinct, for they are the ones who volunteer to place themselves in front of the target. The NHL on ESPN. This is the game.
Bruins, Flyers, tomorrow at 2 on ESPN2.
Welcome back to the Dodge Intermission Report. By the way, Larry Walker just grounded out the shortstop. Colorado has a 1-0 lead.
He agrees with everything I said.
Over the Florida Marlins. Elsewhere, the Western Conference, we're focusing on the East tonight with our game, Pittsburgh leading Buffalo 1-0 after 1. But in the West, there's also one spot still up for grabs. Edmonton can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a tie tonight. Anaheim would be eliminated if the Oilers get a single point. And that gets us to the big game tonight out west. We've got the big game in the East. But Edmonton and Vancouver actually play each other tonight as they go down the stretch.
Well, Edmonton controls their own destiny. They worked and won more games than Vancouver, so they can control their own destiny. As a coach, that's all you can ask for. They got to get the job done. They haven't got it done recently. They haven't played well recently, but they can overcome all that with a great effort by Vancouver. You got to love what Vancouver's accomplished this year. They've had a lot of injuries. They've been beat up. Now let's see what a great leader Mark Messier is and see if he can lead this team to the playoffs. But this will be a great game.
And if Edmonton can't do it tonight, then they got to go in Calgary,
action.
their arch rival tomorrow night. Maybe Grant Fuhr's final game in the NHL, and he knock out the Oilers. Probably not. We're in the first intermission in Western New York, and the Penguins lead the Sabres 1-0. We'll be right back.
Up to here and off-road is no time to discover your truck's off-road package is little more than decals, when what you really need is a burly, overbuilt suspension. Solid steel and high-tech composite skid plates, big, honking 17-inch wheels, and special tires. The new and very different 2001 Dodge Ram Off-Roadster. It draws a new line in the mud. Now get a $1,000 cash allowance on 2000 model year Rams.
I'd love to chat, but I'm getting hungry.
Anyone been to Wendy's lately?
I have.
I have. Why don't they have the Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich anymore?
They discontinue with great demand. So it's big news when it comes back. That's marketing for you.
Well, when I picture the whole breast fillet with Monterey Jack Ranch with bacon, I want to get one.
Who is this Dave? Is he from Wendy's or something?
Hi.
It's back. Wendy's Monterey Ranch.
What do you see when you look at this? You know what I see? I see America. Things in bulk, large quantities. Look around you. I'm talking about a belief system. Values, optimism, prosperity, quality. The future.
You see all that in a 48-pack of toilet paper.
Wait till we get to frozen foods.
You'll fall in love with Canada Dry Ginger Ale.
NASCAR's top drivers buckle up for some push and shove racing as they try to claim the checkered flag on the shortest track in the Winston Cup Series, Martinsville Speedway. The Goodies Body Pain 500, Sunday at 1 on ESPN.
Up to the second on the Dodge Intermission Report. They've changed the Pittsburgh goal. Ian Moran is no longer singing a happy song. Dan Treble's got the goal, his first. The Penguin, they lead 1-0 after one period of play. Second period in just a bit. But as for the bottom of the East, we've been talking about it all night. How about the top of the East? The New Jersey Devils scored 8 goals in Larry Robinson's debut as their head coach in the 7 games since they combined for a total of just 15 other goals. Just some of the problems New Jersey is having. This is since the coaching change, 3 and 4. How about that stiff defense giving up 3 goals per game? And Barry, only one win against a team that is currently over 500 dating back to February 15th. Is this another one round and out for the New Jersey Devils?
Well, again, if you'd have watched the game last night against the Sabres, you would think it's going to be one round. I did not like what the Devils did at the deadline. They became more talented adding Mogilny and Malakoff, but they lost so much character. Odell and Surrey now is Montreal's best defenseman. Peterson. Those 3 guys played hard every night for the New Jersey Devils. I do not believe you ever have enough character in that dressing room. winning in the playoffs, as I said, every 2 days is hard, and you've got to have strong people in that dressing room to lead you. They're not playing as good defensively. They're not as tough physically right now, and the goaltending isn't as good. So the Devils are not playing very good hockey right now.
And they haven't played good playoff hockey since they won the Stanley Cup. Since '95, when they won it all, they've won only
I was working there.
Round. In the studio for us?
No, real,
behind the bench.
a real job.
Second period from Buffalo is up next.
It's a new concept in light beer. 103 calories from different walks of life, coming together for the sake of the team. Introducing crisp, easy-drinking Betts Light.
Out here, am I supposed to say, slow down, I'm constipated? I don't think so. So I rely on doctor-recommended Metamucil. Works with my body, gently, which is important to a sensitive guy like myself.
25 years ago, we started with just one idea, that the PC could change all our lives. But the big story is what you achieved, using the PC to transform the economy and improve the way we live and how our children learn. It's no accident of history that America created the PC revolution. It takes freedom to innovate. And with that freedom, Microsoft will keep innovating and improving what our software can do for you.
Man, I'm hungry. What, $1 for a sliver of raw fish?
It's sushi.
Sushi? Where I'm from, we call that stuff bait.
What else can you get for just $1?
Well, I can get a 20-minute phone call for only 99 cents.
Quit kidding around.
No, it's true. Dial 10-10-220. It's just 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes. And just 7 cents a minute after that. And get this, there's no monthly fee.
10-10-220 really is a great deal.
We know. Hey, you forgot to cook this.
Dial 10-10-220.
The coverage they put into it now is amazing. Every round is on, so you see all the picks. There's so much analysis. They've got a highlight on every player drafted. And that's the amazing part. You know, as soon as they're drafted, highlights going up.
The NFL Draft on ESPN.
ESPN's coverage of National Hockey Night is brought to you by Subway, the way a sandwich should be. By Dodge, the official vehicles of the NHL, Dodge Different, and by Beck's, a beer apart.
Welcome back, everybody, here in Buffalo. The Pittsburgh Penguins looking to solidify their number 7 spot in the Eastern Conference as far as the playoffs are concerned. Have the 1-0 lead at the end of the first period over the Sabres. Welcome back, Gary Thorne, Bill Clement. And we were surprised in Pittsburgh's real fire coming out in that first period.
Well, and not only their fire, but their dedication to Team D. They had 5 guys back down trying to protect Ron Tugnutt a lot of times. Now, intermissions are for readjusting and really changing the momentum. And the Sabres did outshoot the Penguins 10-5 in the first period, but the Sabres took them lightly in the early going. They're going to have to try to get this thing cranked up the other way.
And it's not going to be easy for Jaromir Jagr to come away with any points in this game, as the Sabres are really playing him tight every time he comes out on the ice. The goal has been changed, by the way. Treble gets it. Dan Treble, not Ian Moran, gets his first goal. This is just his 3rd game. He played for Cincinnati in the minors, where he had 7 goals, 21 assists. So Treble gets the goal. Roosevelt and Leach are credited with the assist. It's Treble's first goal in 3 years at the NHL level, primarily because he spent most of that time in the minors.
And he's a defenseman by trade.
Yeah.
But because the Penguins are resting some people, he was actually lined up in a forward spot in that shift.
Kasparaitis touches that one up. We're underway here in the second period.
Now, another man that's in the lineup is the guy that shot the puck, Michael Roosevelt. He's been a healthy scratch the last 3. Number 28 from the point. There was Dan Treble knocked it down to the ice, and that created the bouncing knuckleball effect that went over Hasek. Everybody thought that Ian Moran got it. At the end of the period, Moran came over. Watch. The goal, Dan Treble. Read his lips, and he actually cleared the balls in. The official scores. As a result, the delayed celebration began for Dan Treble.
Ian Moran will get a free dinner on that one. Yuri Hrdina drops that one back to the point. Good teammate. And that'll be held on to by Dominik Hasek. Jeff Sanderson had 3 shots. The only multiple shot man as Dominik Hasek, who has been red hot in net, 7-1 over his last 8 games. And against the Pittsburgh Penguins here at home, he has gone 7-0-1 in the last 8.
Those last 8, you know how many goals he's given up total? 10. I mean, that tells you Dominik Hasek is back. Forget about the numbers. He's not scrambling as much in goal as he was a few weeks ago. Lindy Ruff pointed that out this morning, and he said when Dominik Hasek starts to make them look easy, make all those tough saves look easy, as he did the breakaway save on Claude Lemieux last night, if anybody saw it, you know Hasek's back.
Dominik Hasek looking right here at Jágr, and a save made. Jágr set up on the dot and got the one-timer right into the midsection that time. Sabres get it back and will have the easy out. Buffalo Sabres down 1-0, just starting the second. Package shot as he got open in the middle, went wide. Rebounded back in behind the net. Václav Varada. Varada looking for Simplakov cutting. Can't get it to him. Shot it in, but it was Hrdina who knocked that away. Jan Hrdina hasn't had a goal in 19 games. Just deflected that one, and at least defensively helped out his goaltender. Off the near side, Jágr moving in. Jágr wanted a wrister, rolled it in off the backhand. Did not get much on that one, and it was just tipped away. Both teams changing this one up on the fly. Shot deflected. Yuri Slager cleared it right back out to the man who took it. Center ice. Brown centering pass, and it goes wide. Big time chance right there, created the 2-on-0 down low, but the Pittsburgh Penguins unable to take advantage of that one. One good pass right there might have been a goal. Yuri Slager, Václav Varada had it, lost it. Rasmussen pushed it up the wall. Can't do anything with it. Right back to Rasmussen. Robert Lang reached in and took it away. Lang's pass, Curtis Brown will pick it up. Brown trying to flip it up the boards. That got knocked away on the near side to Alexei Kovalev. Kovalev took a hit in the first period and went slowly to the bench, but he's back. He turns it to the point, McKee a chance. Deflected, I think, on Lang's back or head, and deflected over the net. There's Robert Lang, and he clears it out. Robert Lang was back to the play that time. The puck caught him in the backside of the head. Third around for McKee from Rhett Warner. Drops it into the middle, intended for Curtis Brown, who'll pick it up. Brown waiting for help. Brown up for Rasmussen, who held the line, but couldn't control the puck. Hans Janssen cleared it ahead. Barnaby leaves it near side to Rob Brown. Got a lot of that one. Played back in behind the net by Dominik Hasek. Pushed up the board. Shatan tried to reach, couldn't. Pittsburgh completing their line change here. Will take it deeper into their own end. Centering pass. Blocked. Rozov had it blocked by Brown twice. Shatan wound up and got met head on that time by Rozabal as he was going to shoot it and didn't get much on it. Rozabal cleared it around and out of the zone. Chased at the other end. Required him to come out and make the dangerous pass. Dominik Hasek put it right across the middle of McKee, who quickly got it out of there. Rozabal sent it back in the middle. Falloon tip pass, knocked away. Falloon trying to run it into the middle. Tied up, took his man down. Falloon's going to go to the box. Shatan was trying to break up ice, and Falloon just put the stick out. It'll be a power play for the Buffalo Sabres. And Jenov, rather, was the man trying to cut through the middle and got taken down.
Well, this is one area of the Sabres game they've got to try to get cranked up if they make the playoffs. It's their power play. It has been, well, it's kind of going back and forth between awful and rotten most of the season. And in this hockey game, they're going to the power play now. I want to go back and take a look at a decision that Alexei Zhitnik made. You got to make good decisions, and the Sabres don't look sharp in that department. Here comes Zhitnik, and he's leading the rush. You see they got 3 Penguins back, so it's a 3-on-3, right? 3 attackers, 3 guys back. I mean, the one thing you want to avoid is turning the puck over, especially when you're a defenseman trying to get the rush done. So Alexei Zhitnik turned it over, and we stop it right here. You see that he had another chance right there. The puck is on his stick. He missed it another time, and the Penguins went away on a 2-on-1, Lang and Kovalev. And this Penguins team is a good team of opportunists. That's why you can't afford those turnovers, especially in low percentage situations at their blue line.
See the worst power play in the league. Buffalo Sabres. Kasparaitis cleared it around and out of the zone. Buffalo Sabres last at home, last on the road, last overall, but 5th in the 5th most chances on the power play in the NHL. Pittsburgh penalty killers tied for 20. See if they can do anything with it. Deflected into the corner. Can't control. It was Chris Bratton over there trying to pin that one in. Couldn't do it. Shots 5-0. Penguins here in the second period. Now 10-10 on the game. Sabres offense needing to pick it up here with just 1 up and a 1-0 lead for the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is only the second penalty we've had in the game. The first power play for the Pens. Evan Jenov again got dumped. He went down, and Kovalev was on the ice. There's Kovalev getting back up in the penalty killing unit. Run it back into the zone. Shatan. Doug Gilmour not playing. He's got a viral infection. He's their leading power play goal scorer with 10. And their leading scorer overall.
Yeah, this is where they missed Doug Gilmour. No question about it. Gilmour brought life to the power play.
Having a jump off, and his backhander went wide. Almost a pass to Stu Barnes, who was on that far side. Shatan playing out on a point now. That deflected high off the glass to the near side with 35 to go on the power play. Pens get it up through the middle. Shatan was there. Ian Moran knocked it away. Shatan got hit by Kovalev and taken down. Curtis Brown poke checked away from him and out the center.
And you can see the Penguins penalty killers are showing this power play no respect at all, as they should play it. I mean, a power play that is this bad has low confidence. Doug Gilmour is not out there. He is out with the flu. So as a result, you just attack the puck. Don't worry about getting outnumbered. Just attack the puck.
Michael Pekka's chance, and that got blocked. Pekka trying to dig that one out to keep it alive. Not going to be able to do it. Ooh. Check in with Steve Levy. Steve.
Gary, thank you. Dodge takes us back to Detroit. Again, the Capitals looking to move into the tie for the top spot overall in the East. Already won a 1-0 lead, make it 2-0. Richard Zednik pops one over Chris Osgood. 2-zip after one, guys.
Big game for them, and tough for Detroit to get up for that game. Kovalev's had a tough night out there.
He has. Been banged up on a couple of shifts. That time it looked like he got it up high. Oh, what a great shoulder by Afanajanov right under the chops of Alexei Kovalev. A good, clean hit. But then Kovalev came back and decided to get anybody that he could dressed in white. That happened to be Miro Shatan.
Told you Kovalev's hot right now. 4 goals, 3 assists over the last 5 games. He's got a scoring streak coming into this one. Sabres up in the hit department. Penguins up with the lead, 1-0.
Kovalev's really been a big part of the Penguins' surge at the end of this hockey season to get into the playoffs. And that's why I said earlier they really can't afford him to get hurt right now. I mean, they can't afford any of their key guys, but Kovalev has been next to the goaltending, I think, has been their key guy.
Aaron Herdina won another draw. He was 6 for 8 on faceoffs in that first period. He's their best faceoff man on a couple of teams here who don't do very well in that department. Pittsburgh 23rd, Buffalo's 24th in the league in faceoff percentage. Power play is over, so each team 0 for 1 on the advantage. It remains a Pittsburgh 1-0 lead. Sabres got it in near side. Yager took it away. At center, they'll be ragged back a bit here. Zhitnik, Schmelik. Off the far side, Michael Pekka trying to move that one in and did. Pekka centering pass. Deflected off body shot and a save made by Tugnut. Zhitnik came right to him at the blue line. Siplikov in a fight down low after Zhitnik had the chance. A reminder, Sunday, National Hockey League and ABC continues into the regular season. Detroit Red Wings taking on Patrick Roy, Colorado Avalanche on the regional action. Check the local listings in your area. Sunday at 3 Eastern, 2 Central. ABC, home of the Stanley Cup.
There's Alexei Zhitnik. Don't want to pick on him too much on this one, but I don't think the decision-making thing is going really that well for him. Puck came all the way back to him. Watch this shot. No screen in front of Ron Tugnut. Where does he put it? Right into his glove. I mean, the idea, if there isn't a screen, is to launch a shot that is difficult to handle that creates a rebound. That means get it low, right on the ice. The stick's got more bounce than the glove or the chest protector or anything. I mean, at least get a low shot on it.
Curtis Brown on this face-off. Won it along the boards but couldn't control, and it's cleared out of there. Pat Falloon was going down on the ice when they got it out through center. There's Falloon again. Dumps it into the zone. Falloon gives chase, but that'll be an offside call as the Pens had not cleared. 14 minutes to go, second period. 1-0 Pittsburgh leading it. Bear in mind, a Pittsburgh win here tonight guarantees them that they will be in that number 7 spot for the playoffs. And Buffalo, there's Herb Brooks, all year trying to develop some kind of team chemistry for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and feels as though he's getting there. He didn't for a while, but he thinks it's coming together.
The big question will be not the scoring of Jaromir Jagr in the playoffs. It'll be Team D. We all know defense wins. And of all the teams that are in playoff positions right now, the Penguins have the lowest defensive ranking. They come into tonight's action tied for 20th overall defensively, and that's what has to improve in the playoffs.
They're the only team whose goaltenders have a save percentage below 90. 9-0-0. The only one in the playoffs to this point, and probably will be if they make it. Those are tough. Shatan, backhand side. Shot that one just right into the back of the net. The time goes back to McKee. His chance, and it's held on to right out in front. Eric Rasmussen trying to deflect it. Good concentration by Ron Tugnut, protecting that Pens 1-0 lead.
It's the longest lasting full-size pickup with overall the most powerful line of engines. And now that the 2001 model is available with a higher output 5.9-liter Cummins diesel, you know this truck is really going to clean up. Dodge Ram, now with a $1,000 cash allowance on 2000 models.
Cloaked in mystery, eagerly anticipated. It's been analyzed and scrutinized by some of the finest minds in the business. But it all began with a simple truth. If the bread tastes better, the sandwich will too. Ultimately, it received the hearty approval of one and all, including you, the customer. It's the new bread at Subway.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Baked fresh daily. Try it on your favorite sandwich. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
A clear bottle, so you can make sure there's none of that hijinks and funny business going on inside. Introducing crisp, easy-drinking Beck's Light.
Where would you like to go? How about Pep Boys?
For a limited time, get free installation when you buy Gabriel Pro Rider Premium Shocks for your truck, van, or SUV.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
Packed house here in Buffalo, and great to have you with us. National Hockey Night on ESPN. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, and our crew as the playoffs will begin on Wednesday. The National Hockey League will be there to cover it for you in ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC. Great matchups. Rolled away. Tugnut covering that short side. Chris Fratton kind of going backwards that time. Almost had the opportunity. Rod Tugnut able to put it away. Tugnut's lifetime mark against these Buffalo Sabres. Not bad in that department.
Pretty darn good. Those coming when he played for the Ottawa Senators, at least the majority of them, to my knowledge. But Ron Tugnut's in the zone right now. He's coming off his best game as a Pittsburgh Penguin. That was the playoff clinching win 2 nights ago in Toronto. But as you mentioned, Gary, with Jean-Sébastien Aubin on the sidelines recovering from an injured ankle, Ron Tugnut is doing exactly what he had to do to get the Penguins in.
Suddenly becomes a huge acquisition to have on this team, to have a veteran being able to play. Patrick in behind the net. Patrick, Brown all over him. Freed the puck up to Lang, who tried to center it, had it knocked away. Larvin Lang got it back. One-timer blocked and down on the ice. Bogner shot. Hasek knocks it away, but we'll get a whistle here. That's Jason Woolley. Woolley blocked that shot and took it straight on.
Did he ever? And Kovalev ripped this one right into the wheelhouse. It was a perfect one-timer. Unless you're Jason Woolley. And there were a couple of imperfections in the shot. Number one, it hit him. Ooh. I think he's saying I'm okay, but this is one of those shots where it hurts so much you can't even breathe.
Well, he recovers. Steve Levy.
All right, Gary, thanks. Dodge takes us to Nashville. Truly a breathless play. You want to see this. The Ducks need to win to even have a chance at the playoffs. Here's Greg Johnson circling the net once. Holding. Look at this. He's going to circle the net a second time before Tom Fitzgerald buries it. How about that for a goal? The Preds have the lead.
Some excitement around the National Hockey League on the final weekend with these positions up for grab. The positioning in the Western Conference, the top 4 teams are all set. In the Eastern Conference, 1 team, Ottawa. That's it. They're the only ones who know they are going to be where they are. The bottom of it is still up for grabs with those 4 teams battling for it. San Jose, Edmonton, Vancouver, Anaheim. As far as positioning is concerned, San Jose knows they're in. Edmonton does not. Edmonton, Vancouver, Anaheim are still battling to take that number 8 spot. Edmonton plays Vancouver tonight.
Yeah, that's huge. That's Vancouver's chance to get in. Now there's the victim. The man that shot it was just shown sitting on the Penguins bench. There's Alexei Kovalev. Here it is. Wham. You know, I thought he might have gotten it right in the cup, right in the groin, but I think he got it right on top of his right knee. Watch his right knee. Yep. And when you bend down like that, there is padding there, but it presses the padding really hard against your knee. Watch this. Wham! I mean, that's a full wind-up, everything you had in the bag. Right onto the knee of Jason Woolley.
Jason Woolley getting back up and looks as though he will be okay, but obviously that's going to hurt Hrdina turning it back into the middle, looking on top. Chance is deflected wide. Bob Bugner had it. Never ended up on net. Vaclav Barada off the far side boards. Siplikov with him. Siplikov came back to get it. Siplikov leaves it. Buffalo trying to find one here. D joining the play. Zhitnik's done that a number of times. Hrdina kicked it out the center, but he got taken out of the play by Pekka. Down Hrdina along the near side, battling with Siplikov, who got it. Michael Pekka moves it in and heads to the net. Save made by Tugnut. He will hang on to that one and no rebound, and Pekka gets into it. None other than Mr. Kasparaitis. No Jurgen Pickle there. That's a cruncher.
Bob Bugner involved in that scrum as well. And he's brought a big attitude. And here he is. You know, Lindy Ruff was talking about Bob Bugner this morning because Bugner played for the Sabres. I think he was a key guy for Buffalo. And Lindy Ruff was saying how the guys used to joke about Bugner. He'd take on anybody to stand up for one of his teammates, and the guys would say, well, you're 1 in 62 now, and you get another fight. Well, you're 1 in 63 now. But I said to Lindy, the key there was that 1 in 63 had up to 64. I mean, that he was at least in there, you know, doing what he could do to disrupt the opposition, to stand up for his teammates. I mean, he understands momentum and he understands his function, and he's just a great guy to have on the bench and in the room. I think this was one of the key acquisitions at the deadline for the Penguins because they had no jam on the blue line.
He's made some nice plays in front of the net, helping out, blocking shots tonight and clearing the puck as well. Brown dumped it in. Robert Lang, backhand chance. No. Could not get it for the shot. Lang had gotten around at least a half step around the D. Brown to Lang. Lang looking. Brown cutting to the net. Kovalev in the middle as well. Kovalev turns up the near side wall. Kovalev, McKee was on him. Off the far side, Shatan will pick it up. Miroslav Shatan for the red, the blue, and Slager cut over. McKee was open on the right wing side. Jay McKee wide open, but the puck never got to him. Shatan again has McKee in front of him. Bothered from behind. Shatan kept control. Dixon Ward in front of the net. Shot. Backhander deflected. Not on goal. Kovalev tied up by Brown, but he kicked it away, and Pittsburgh able to clear it out of there. Down the middle, Slager a chance. Dominic Hasek straight on. Pittsburgh will change it up. Florida not playing tonight, so Pavel Bure watching as he's in that race for the scoring title. 2 behind Jaromir Jagr. Jagr has not picked up anything here tonight on the 1 goal that Pittsburgh has. Off the near side, almost got to Dixon Ward, not quite. Shatan takes the clear. Shatan, that one intercepted. Good play, Roosevelt on the near side. He'd already had Chris Groton go by, so you either make that one or look really bad. To the near side, Zhitnik. Zhitnik tied up. Still has the puck. Zhitnik moved it up the wall to Jeff Sanderson. Sanderson leading all shooters in the game so far. 3 in the first period. Poked away again. Groton waits for him to clear and dumps it in.
Well, I still look at Buffalo and wonder why they're not getting the puck deeper more consistently.
Sanderson shot that hurt. Ian Moran. He gets back up and is limping after blocking it and heads to the bench. McKee, save made by Tugnut, shot from center. Roosevelt cleared it around the far side. Leach, who got an assist on the goal, cleared it up, and Hrdina will clear it the length of the ice. Pittsburgh needs to regroup. Off the near side boards, not going to be whistled. McKee had to come back. Jagr was up there right on his back. The far side wall, it came to center where Bugner had the intercept. Pittsburgh trying to clear Jagr out of the zone late will be whistled on the offside. Leading the NHL, 2 seasons, Art Ross Trophy consecutively. Jaromir Jagr going after his 4th title overall. Only 2 consecutive, with a chance to make it 3 if he can get one here.
Yeah,
in a row. There they are.
He would join this company. Is that an elite group or what? Gretzky, Howe, Esposito, and Lafleur all won 3 scoring titles in a row.
Gretzky's certainly in that category of player.
Gretzky's case. You know what? Jaromir Jagr, if he could stay healthy, could take a run at Wayne Gretzky's 7 in a row. I mean, if Jaromir Jagr has a healthy season this year, nobody's even close to him.
No.
He may win it anyway.
the injury that has made it a race, because he was way ahead when he was playing regularly. It's his 62nd game that he has played this year.
95 points in 61 games. That leads the NHL the fewest games to win the Art Ross. 60. Mario Lemieux, 160 points in 92-93. 160 points in 60 games.
Interesting, if he wins it, Bill, he'll be just the second player to have a scoring title who missed more than 10 games, because he has missed 19. The only other one, Mario Lemieux, 3 times Lemieux did it. Shot from the point and knocked away into the corner. Dominic Hasek in the save. Joseph Baranek had the chance. He played it around the near side, stepping up on a Seplikov. Got tied up back into the middle. Shot Yager, deflected away. Yager's not been open. Schmeling closed right in on him as soon as that puck came to him. Seplikov's got it. Seplikov in. Black operator on the right. Michael Pekka. Seplikov scores!
Well, the defensive line for the Sabres has tied the game. In the first period, this line tried to make plays at the blue line. It didn't work. You had to wonder why they weren't getting the puck to Ron Tugnutt and then driving the net. The reason you had to wonder why they weren't doing that is that this is what happens when they do. Well, Mike Pekka started this, knocked it up the boards, and then Verada just chipped it out to Seplikov. But you see, this time they had room at the blue line because the defenseman backed in for Pittsburgh. And it went Seplikov to Mike Pekka for the one-timer, and then Vaclav Verada for the rebound. This line can be an awesome line if they stay together and if they play smart. They have to do one thing to play smart: get the puck to the net, because they've got bulls on the wings in Seplikov and Verada.
10:30, time of the goal to tie it. Verada's 10th. Michael Pekka and Seplikov get the assist. Verada left his stick in the hands of Ron Tugnutt after he scored that goal, and it is 1-1. Comes on Buffalo's 16th shot of the game, and they get it tied up, and that will set the adrenaline flowing, not only on the ice but in the seats as well. Knocked down at center. Hans Jonsson got it ahead. Robert Lang wanted to center. McKee will pick up the loose puck. He turns it off the near side boards. Held in again and dumped a little deeper by Hans Jonsson. Kovalev moving up, looking for the loose puck. Kovalev reaching in, dug it out. Kovalev tied up from behind, still has control. McKee right on his back. Kovalev turns it into the middle. Robert Lang open, but Curtis Brown picked up the puck as he tried to kick it onto his stick. Center, Rasmussen's got it. Rasmussen drops it to Brown. Brown to step on Slager. Centering pass off the wall. James Patrick shot. Blocked to the near side. Picked back up by Kovalev, and Kovalev leaves it in the middle. Onside, Jitnik waiting. Jitnik will move it in. Jitnik will join the flow. Jitnik wants a wraparound chance. Got it. Tugnutt a save. Rebound. Barnes had it, lost it. Played up the far side boards and out. 1-1 game with 8:04 to go here in the second period. 17-13 the shots now in favor of Buffalo. 2-on-1 Barnes. Just had it taken away in time by Roosevelt.
What a terrific relay pass by Dixon Ward. I mean, that was Larionov-like.
Set up a 2-on-1 chance. Gary Slager turning the corner from behind the net. Rozov's shot, far side, got nothing. Roosevelt's shot got blocked out deep. Dixon Ward, the man who blocked it. Ward quickly heading up ice into the middle. Couldn't get it to him, though, and back for it. Schmeling and Jitnik. Now the Buffalo Sabres will change. Ward will stay up on the forecheck. Near side. Schmeling got a piece of that one. Rolled back into his own end, though, and Warrener will take it back in behind the net. Brett Warrener up. Rolled out to center. 3-on-3. Sanderson in. Sanderson looking. Chris Gratton set up right in front of the net. Will go chase it down in the corner. Gratton trying to avoid the check that time. Did so pretty well. Matthew Barnaby. Puck still loose along the near side. That's Sanderson. Chris Gratton. He goes by Gratton. Leaves it for him. Gratton back for Sanderson. Hauled down, and a penalty coming. Jeff Sanderson just kept on working. Got himself open and had to be hauled down.
That's just a great effort by Jeff Sanderson. He started the penetration of the zone with great speed on the left side and just never stopped skating the whole time. But the Sabres have evened this thing at 1. A hard-working blue-collar type goal by Verada, just driving the twine.
It's new, it's light, but it's not soft. Introducing crisp, easy-drinking Beck's Light.
Baby, show me 1 + 1 is 2. Show me all the things that you can do.
From coast to coast, from high to goodbye, that's the power of 2. Introducing Sprint 1000. 1,000 minutes of long distance for just $20 a month. That's as low as 2 cents a minute. Every night or all weekend long. The choice is yours. That's the power of 2. Anything more would be too much.
Baby, show me 1 + 1 is 2.
Switch to Sprint 1000 at 1-800-PIN-DROP.
Those are the teeth that protect our beer from wussies and place kickers. Introducing crisp, easy-drinking Beck's Light.
Bob Bugner out of there at 13:07. This will be the second power play of the game now for the Sabres, and an opportunity to take the lead for the first time in this game. Michael Pekka won the draw. Chatan's open. Left it near side instead. Dixon Ward had it blocked. Deflected off the back of the net. Chatan, circle. Ward goes back on top. That one got blocked by Herdina. Ward again. Power play for the Buffalo Sabres. Big screen set up in front. Heading Dixon Ward. Return pass. Came right back to Michael Pekka. Pekka tied up by Yuri Slager. Slager tried to clear it around. Couldn't get it there. Pekka's got it again. Power play underway for Buffalo in a 1-1 game. Michael Pekka, Pittsburgh moving up. They'll challenge the puck. His shot deflected. May have gone through. Tugnut kicked out at it, and they'll clear. Dominic Hasek got to play it at the other end. 1:20 left to go. And this power play chance. Buffalo with just 37 power play goals. They are 1 for 10 this year in the 4 games they've played against Pittsburgh. Chatan just played that to a position off the wall, but Kasparaitis was there and clears.
I think the one positive number that Buffalo can draw on should they make the playoffs is last year they went to the Stanley Cup Finals with the 21st ranked power play in the regular season. So that's the Sabres just want to get in because they know it is a brand new season and they can switch everything around and leave all the negatives behind.
Start all over again. Curtis Brown. Brown turning. Barnes set up in front. Back on top. Shitnik leaves it. One-timer Chatan deflected in front off Barnes. Came off the near side wall. Kovalev intercepts and clears for Pittsburgh.
Curtis Brown looks like he's hurting.
Very slowly off the ice. Curtis Brown heading over to the bench as Buffalo changes up. Straight through the middle, Patrick. James Patrick got it in. Open. Gratton shot. Missed it. Went for that wide side. Michael Pekka's chance. Deflects to the near side boards. Chris Gratton moves over. Gets it to Michael Pekka. Pekka again. Save made. Tugnut rebound. Loose in front. Still setting. Picked up and cleared out of the zone. Joseph Baranek back to help. Got it out of there. And the power play is over. 0 for 2 in the power play for the Sabres. Back to 5-on-5. Onside as Gratton kicked it in. Bugner just out of the penalty box plays the puck, waiting for Pittsburgh to come over the boards here and get some help to roll that one up. Richard Schmelik takes it back in behind the net. Schmelik up the near side. Siplikov tried to dump that one in, and it's going to be whistled on the offside. Sabres and Pens tied at 1 apiece. Treble got it at 1:38 in the first for the Pens. Verata has tied it.
ESPN the magazine.
Thank you for calling.
Dan, can I put you on hold? Dan Patrick wants a free Polo Fleece pullover.
He writes a column for the magazine. But he's not a new subscriber.
Sorry, Dan. No can do on the fleece. It's only for new subscribers. You mean you're actually calling to subscribe?
Everyone wants our warm, roomy Polar Fleece pullover. It has a half-zip front and embroidered ESPN the magazine logo. And best of all, it's free.
Stuart Scott wants the fleece.
Booyah!
Call now for ESPN the magazine and get your sports the way it ought to be. Big and bold, fast and furious. Get 26 issues, a year's worth for just $1 an issue. 66% off the newsstand price. And your fleece pullover is free.
It's Chris Berman. He could go all the way. Hello.
Call now. 1-800-544-1000.
Steely Dan, 2 Against Nature. Becker and Fagan's first studio album of new songs in 20 years. Featuring What a Shame About Me.
Take a good look, it's easy to see. What a shame about me.
Cousin Dupree.
How about a kiss for your cousin Dupree? How about a kiss for your cousin
Jack of Speed.
Jack of Speed.
Steely Dan, 2 Against Nature. To order by phone, dial 1-800-ASK-TOWER.
Taking a look at the home of the Buffalo Sabres. And the owner inside tonight, John Regis, who is chairman of the board, born in upstate New York. And he is the chief executive officer of the Delphi Communications and owner thereof, which is a number of subsidiaries, Buffalo Sabres. He has taken over and hopes to grow not only the Sabres, but also the whole area around this building downtown. Michael Pekka backed that one out to center. It's a 1-1 game right now. These playoff games for the owners mean a ton. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars each playoff game. It's up now to about a couple million a game for a team. So when you make the playoffs, it can be the difference between bottom and top of the line for a season as far as the finances are concerned. Same is true, obviously, for Pittsburgh. Vital for them to have made it, which they have done. Jaromir Jagr, Michael Pekka just stepped in and took that one away. Sent back in behind the net. Seplikov was cutting. Barada's pass, though, goes all the way out to center where Barnes would play it. Barnes tried to turn it in. It ends up going into the seats. 3:39 to go in the second. Steve Levy.
All right, Gary, thanks. Dodge takes us back to Nashville. Mighty Ducks, yeah, if that loss to Chicago, but they're still hanging around. Teemu Selanne on the power play, waiting and waiting. There's Steve Ruchin to tie it at 1.
Anaheim is a long shot now to make the playoffs, but not technically eliminated. And the playoffs begin Wednesday. One group will start Wednesday. Another group will start Thursday. Stanley Cup playoff coverage, ESPN, ABC, and ESPN2. As the so-called second season of the National Hockey League will begin.
And there's not a matchup that's set.
No, that's what's amazing. Don't know any matchup yet, because the standings can still fluctuate here in the final weekend of the regular season. Out at center, Chris Gratton will win that faceoff back into the zone. Dominik Hasek came back to play it. 35-year-old Dominik Hasek not coming back. Now he is. They have something to come back to, as Bill said, if they can make it into the playoffs. With him in net, who knows? They're a defensive team, live and die by how Hasek plays, and right now he's playing well.
They're a defensive team that, because of the addition of Doug Gilmour, can do some creative things offensively.
Talking about the standings in the Eastern Conference, the battle is for the final spot. Pittsburgh knows they're in, but they could finish 7th or 8th. Montreal and Carolina have a chance to move into the 8th spot, as well as Buffalo does.
If Buffalo can win here tonight, they will eliminate Carolina, and they will really back Montreal into a corner. All right, the Buffalo Sabres, to make the playoffs, this is to guarantee a playoff spot. 3 points in the last 2 games guarantees it, no matter what Montreal does tomorrow night. The win tonight eliminates Carolina. Goal differential versus Montreal was a +6 in the Sabres' favor, and that is important because that is the 3rd tiebreaker. Montreal and the Sabres would be tied in the first 2 tiebreakers should they end up tied in points at the end of the regular season.
There is a chance for something that has never happened. A playoff game. The league announced today that if there should be a tie for a spot, that bottom spot, Buffalo-Montreal, there would be a playoff game on Monday, a coin toss, to determine who would be the home ice team. And that is unlikely. Right. Unlikely. But it could happen, because if they end up with the same number of points, 83 or whatever, you go to wins as a tiebreaker, that's the same. Head-to-head competition ends up being 2-2 because they eliminate the odd game that they played against one another. And the final tiebreaker is that goal differential.
And because there's not a 4th tiebreaker that we can look at numerically, is the reason that there would be a sudden death, a single sudden death playoff game. Keep in mind, should they end up tied in the first 2 tiebreakers, the Buffalo Sabres have a +6 goal differential advantage right now. So that's why it would be really bizarre and really freaky if that didn't decide it. But it's possible.
Possible. Right back into the middle by Seplikov. shot deflected into the corner. Sabres has set up some shots here in this game. Into the middle, Yuri Slager coming. Slager's got Hrdina up ice already with him. In fact, too far up ice. He was already in the zone for the offside. Game tied at 1-1, 2:31 to go, second period. Buffalo with the advantage in shots at 18-13, and here at home, the Buffalo Sabres 16th in the league, 21-14-5, their record at home.
I'll tell you one thing that could help the Penguins in the playoffs is Jan Hrdina really having a change of how he approaches the game mentally. It's almost become a joke in Pittsburgh how Jan Hrdina, through traffic of 4 or 5 guys, seems obsessed with setting up Jaromir Jagr when he plays with him. And while that is great, you want to feed your top guy. In the playoffs, when the opportunity is on your stick, you got to forget about searching for one guy to find. I mean, that's not the way the game is played. And with Jan Hrdina, he seems so intimidated playing with Jaromir Jagr that his whole mission every time he's on the ice seems to be get the puck to Jagr at all costs.
A little worshiping going on probably. That was Jagr who lost control of it. Shatan dropped it off. Played back by Jan Hrdina into the middle. Puck checked away. Back near side Shatan. Shatan turning in. Had a little room. Hrdina goes by him. Shatan on the backhand side. Centered it. It went right through the crease. Good centering pass that time and an attempted tip, but not quite. Back Pittsburgh the other way with Roseball, the defenseman, leading the charge. And Dominic Hasek deflected that one. Baranek with a chance. Baranek cleared back up the near side. Cleared by Dixon Ward to center. Bob Bugner going over to get it. 1:43 left to go here in the second period. A 1-1 game. One-on-one down low. Knocked away by Tugnut. Nowhere to go with that puck as they were changing. Dixon Ward turned around for help. Didn't have anybody, so did the right thing and just shot it on and hope. On the near side, Baranek got stood up that time. Good stand-up check by Zhitnik. Freed the puck up for the Sabres. Zhitnik on the near side. Ian Schmelik back as the defensive pairing for the Buffalo Sabres here at the end of this season. They both like to join the offense. Jeff Sanderson trying to move it in. Deflected away Kasparaitis and cleared out. Zhitnik again will take it. Get back on side. Jeff Sanderson on the far side. Hit by Kasparaitis as he dumped it in. Bob Bugner came back to get it. Bugner cleared it around. Kovalev's got it. 1 minute to go here in the period. Robert Lang. Lang coming. Lang's got Brown on the other side. Could not center. Good check. Rhett Warner kept him out of the play. Still control. Brown back on the point. Slager shot. Save made. Hasek up and over the glass.
And remember to use your Adelphia swipe guard tonight.
A couple of close calls for Dominic Hasek. Not much work in this tilt. But he looked to his right moments ago as if he was looking for the puck behind him. Robert Lang did actually. Here comes Baranek. Baranek had shot it. Watch this shot. There's the shot going to the short side. Post. Didn't hear it. We've got effects mics everywhere. That hit the post, and that is why Dominic Hasek looked around to his right. Thought it might have deflected off the handle of his stick. Off the post, and you could certainly tell that Dominic Hasek knew where it had gone because he turned around to his right to see if it had gone in.
Right across the goal line and out the other way. 46.9 left to go. Lang wanted Jaromir Jagr. The shot blocked. Jagr again. Poke checked away. No room for Jagr trying to wind up here in this game to take a chance. Rolled to the side of the net. Slager came back to play it. And it's still in the middle. Jagr's got it. Jaromir Jagr with 30 to go in the period. Lang with him. Jagr. Again, no room. Slager got it down low. Attempted tip went wide as Lang tried to direct it. Jaromir Jagr, when he's even remotely close to the puck, he's almost wearing a Sabres uniform. Ron Tugnut. Ooh. Siklikov was wide open on the near side that time with 14 seconds left.
Well, Ron Tugnut did a great job of making sure there was no rebound that came out. But how do you play Jaromir Jagr when he has time? Well, if you can get one guy kind of getting him to adjust to the first attack. Watch this. Here he comes. See, make him make a move like Mike Pekka did, and then when you've got the second guy coming the way Verrata was, there's no way Jaromir Jagr can get out of the way. If it's a single guy, the way it was with Michael Pekka, your chances of lining up Jagr aren't very good. He sees everything. He's got great agility. But when you come at him, bang, bang, one guy after the other. Now, if he beats both guys, you got a real problem.
Yes, real problem.
Here's that last scoring chance. Verrata had Siklikov, I mean, lonely. He was so open on the left side. Wound up and let her rip. But that's why I'm saying it was a good rebound control by Tugnut because he had Siklikov coming hard.
Face-offs just about even, as you see. Herdina, the best face-off man out there for Pittsburgh, and wins the draw back. Gary Slager comes back to get it. 10 seconds left to go in the period. This is a 1-1 game. Pittsburgh trying to solidify their number 7 position. Buffalo Sabres have just these 2 games. One more after this. They need 3 points in those games to guarantee a playoff spot. Third period will be coming up with the Sabres and the Pittsburgh Penguins tied at 1-1. Stephen Barry.
All right, Gary and Bill, thanks. Should be a great third period. We look forward to the action. You know, Buffalo went a long way last season on their run to the Stanley Cup Finals, proving they're not just a one-man team with Dominik Hasek. Pittsburgh have to prove that to you with Jaromir Jagr?
Well, I think everyone knows that Jagr is the key to that team. He's certainly the best offensive player in the world, but he wasn't with them about 10 days ago when they have to play New Jersey at home and go into Washington. They won both games without Jagr. They played really, really well. Strack is playing his best hockey he's played all season. He's getting a rest tonight. Robert Lang has been spectacular for this team, having his best season, and also Kovalev is having his best season. So they're doing it the right ways. All right,
there's dramatic news coming up on the intermission. If the scores remain the same tonight, we have one official playoff matchup that we know about. Official. It'll be locked in, and we'll tell you about it. And here's a hint. It does not involve St. Louis. A little black and blue highlight when we come back.
If your light beer doesn't have this key, you're locked out. A magical place where your tongue can get naughty with the beer of its dreams. Introducing crisp, easy drinking Beck's Light.
There are over 800,000 job openings
for internet specialists right now.
3 million more in the next 5 years. By the time I'm 18.
By the time I'm 18, over 1 billion jobs will require internet skills.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Virtually all internet traffic travels across the systems of one company, the same one sponsoring thousands of networking academies. Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
We ready?
Are you?
Choose one. Either Wendy's delicious classic double with cheese or Heather.
What was that again?
Choose either Wendy's classic double made fresh so it's very hot and juicy or Heather.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Well?
Heather?
That's never happened before.
Yeah, I knew it. We should have added biggie fries and a drink.
Wendy's classic double with cheese, bliss, at least when it comes to hamburgers.
Well?
I asked my doctor about Lipitor.
Ask your doctor what Lipitor can do for you, or call 1-888-LIPITOR to learn more. Lipitor.
It's a new concept in light beer. 103 calories from different walks of life, coming together for the sake of the team. Introducing crisp, easy drinking Beck's Light.
ESPN's coverage of National Hockey Night is brought to you by Sony Wega TV, part of the Sony Home Entertainment universe.
Hi, folks. Steve Levy, Barry Melrose back in our National Hockey Night studios. We're 1-1, Pittsburgh and Buffalo after one period of play from Western New York. An active Friday night it is with 8 other games, including the St. Louis Blues in action. The Blues lead the NHL in points, but their points leader, Pavel Demitra, could be out until the second round of the postseason. That's due to lingering effects of post-concussion syndrome. They also could be without Scott Young. He's got a shoulder injury. That would eliminate about 20% of the Blues' goals, and they are the 3rd highest scoring team in the NHL. The Blues taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. First period is a Blues power play. Alexei Jamnov on the steal, and he feeds it to Tony Amonte. The Blackhawks are the best team after being eliminated. Amonte always are. 43rd. Man, minutes later, same power play. Vladislav Nagy. Wrister by Steve Passmore. Nagy, the recent call-up, his second of the season.
Well, when St. Louis has injuries, other guys pick up the slack. Jamal Mayer's right there, going down, throw it at the net, the rebound, picks up his own rebound, throws it to the net again, always rewarded. The puck isn't across, and Marty Reisner gets a goal there. Just a little bit later, watch this play. Breakaway, Jamal Mayers is known for his offensive ability. He's a banger, but look at this. Throws the puck through the check, picks up his own pass, shoots it by the goaltender. Great game for Jamal Mayers.
Marty Reisner, of course, the former BC star, and maybe a little bit more on Boston College coming up later on National Hockey Night. St. Louis has a 3-1 lead over the Blackhawks. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Islanders, the Leafs are on the board. Toronto, of course, the Northeast Division champs, their first division regular season title since 62-63.
First time they reach 100 points ever. That's unbelievable.
And the Capitals and Red Wings going at it. Ron Wilson looking on, hoping to join the other two teams atop the Eastern Conference. Barry, here's the first period.
What's Brendan Wett doing behind the Detroit end? But it looks like he knows what he's doing. Give it to Adam Oates. That's never a bad thing. Throws it, hits Osgood in the pads, gets the first goal.
Less than a minute left in the first. Still 1-0. Adam Oates to Richard Zednik. Pops over the fallen goaltender. That made it 2-0. And then it's more for Washington with a 3-0 lead. Andre Nicolishin takes the feed and bang.
Joe Murphy.
Detroit not looking like they want this game too much. Murphy there. It's 4-0. Now it's 4-1 in the hockey game.
Well, again, the Red Wings are resting some guys. Eisenman would be playing right now if it was the playoffs. Bottom line is this team is basically just marking time. They're trying to get through this thing, get into the playoffs, and battle. Detroit's doing all the right things, and it's just a tough time to play when you're the Red Wings.
If Washington, in fact, hangs on and wins this game, and they're up 4-1 in Detroit, we would officially have one locked-in matchup, and that would be
I don't have a clue.
Toronto-Ottawa, 3-6 in the Eastern Conference. You have a thought quickly on Toronto-Ottawa?
Well, Toronto is a team that can win. They're very, very talented. But the last game I saw them play, they did not look good in their own zone. They gave up a lot of chances against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh went right into Toronto and beat them, as a matter of fact. So I think there's one area that Toronto's worried about. That's their defensive zone. And Ottawa is talented enough that they can make you pay if you're not good in that zone. So that could be a great series.
Not to be fooled by Ottawa's recent home loss to the Islanders, right? I mean, there's nothing to play for Ottawa.
It's a tough time for those teams that are already in.
All right, again, Washington, if they hang on and win at Detroit, that would be the only matchup we are assured of, the East or the West. And that would be Toronto in the 3 spot against Ottawa in the first round, a battle of Canada. Barry and I are coming back with more. We've got scores and highlights still on the way. We're after 2 from Buffalo. The Penguins and Sabres tied at 1.
ESPN's coverage of National Hockey Night is brought to you by Warner Brothers' new motion picture Ready to Rumble, slamming into theaters Friday, April 7th. By Daewoo Motor America, Daewoo is all about cars. And by Visa, preferred card of the USA hockey team. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
And welcome back to Buffalo, everybody, as the Sabres here at home trying to get that much closer to that playoff spot. They're going to have to do it in the third period. Pens and Sabres are tied at 1 apiece. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement back with you for the third period. A great season when it comes to the interest for fans watching to see whether or not their clubs are going to make it right down to the final day.
I think that's the way it's supposed to be. One matchup, as the guys in the studio explained, may be said if Washington hangs on to win, Washington will play Ottawa. That's a locked series. But other than that, Carolina's looking, as their fans are at this hockey game, if the Sabres win, the Carolina Hurricanes will miss the playoffs. If the Sabres tie, which is what we have here right now, a 1-1 tie, both the Carolina Hurricanes and the Montreal Canadiens are still alive.
Jaromir Jagr going for the scoring title with Bure. He's got a 2-point lead and has had 3 shots so far in the game. Sanderson, Vaclav Arada, Michael Pekka, and Shatan all have 3 shots for Buffalo, and 3 picked up by Jaromir Jagr as he makes his way out on the ice here to start this third period. 21-14 the shots in favor of Buffalo. Jason Woolley is out of there. He blocked a shot just above the knee that we showed you, and he is not going to be back. So Woolley of the Buffalo Sabres, he is out for the third period. And Tugnutt will knock that one down, leaves it behind the net. Bob Rutner backed it up. And Jagr trying Trying to move it into the middle. Once, twice. Got it there. Robert Lang hanging the off-shooting, Herdina rather than the off-shooting side. Drops it back to the point and out the center. And Butner will have to wait for his teammates to get on side. Yager came out of the zone. That one went off his body. One thing he even knew that was there. Siplikov paced into the corner by Yager and taken down. Buffalo unable to hold it in. New ice and that puck rolling away. Michael Pekka, Herdina was on him. Michael Pekka turned it back into the middle. Both teams over the boards, and Kasparaitis sends it in. Deflected away by Dominic Hasek and picked up by Gittin. Sabres still coming over the boards here. Pittsburgh able to clear. Robert Lang back out now. Tied up by Schmelik behind the net. Schmelik, Gittin doing battle. Clear that puck out of there. Could not do it. Dumped in. And Johnson at the point held it in the first time. Yuri Slager will give chase on the clear, and it will be an icing call to start the third period.
HSBC.
When is hockey a bad thing? We talked about a lot of the good things that have happened in the NHL this hockey season. When is it a bad thing? It's a bad thing when it keeps you from your mother's birthday. And that's what's happening to Steve Ladden tomorrow. It's his mother Diane's birthday. She's in Dearborn, Michigan, and Steve wanted to make sure that Diane knew. Obviously, his thoughts will be with you tomorrow. Happy birthday, Mom. And you might not be seeing him for a while, depending on how far the Penguins can go in the playoffs.
So send him a piece of cake, and we'll eat it.
And it might be stale, but
we don't care.
We'll all still eat it.
Yeah, that's what microwaves are for. Curtis Brown moves in to take the face-off to the left side of Dominic Hasek. 40 games out for Hasek. My. Back in just in time for the Buffalo Sabres. And can't get the sticks down here. Barnaby will turn back. Curtis Brown backing out of the face-off circle. Hasek keeping an eye on the points. Johnson flex off the near side wall. And Brown clears it around. Rasmussen over to get it. Rasmussen looking into the middle. Had to dump it in. Again, knocked away to center. Matthew Barnaby. Ooh, that came through a screen. Dominic Hasek reacted very late on that. His reaction, I don't think he saw that. Fortunately for him, it was not on net. Johnson back. Teamed up with Slager on defense. Hope checked away along the blue. Sabres will get it back. And Brown again will just clear that into the wide side. Johnson over to get it. Slager near side. Rozov was up there with him. He cleared it out, though, and there'll be another icing call coming here. Game tied 1-1. We're just underway in the third period. Full house here in Buffalo. Matthew Barnaby coming back home here. Of course, here in Buffalo, as Bill mentioned earlier, he was a major star. And the Buffalo Sabres team and fans really had a love affair going with him for a while, but he really likes playing in Pittsburgh now. He likes his club, likes playing with it, and likes the fans there.
Kind of likes his role, too. He's playing a lot of hockey. He's centering a line tonight with a different mixing and matching that Herb Brooks has done, sitting out Marty Straka and a couple of other people. So Matt Barnaby's getting a chance to center a line. He usually plays the wing. He won the last faceoff deep in the Sabres zone and generated a scoring chance.
5.5 years. He put the sweater on of the Buffalo Sabres for the deal. Hasek holds it up in behind the net, and Buffalo back to get it. Waiting is Gittin. Stratton goes around him. Gittin will move it up himself. And a Janoff out there on this line. Into the middle. Knocked away. Free at center. Popovich got a piece of that one. Sabres. And Janoff moves back into his own end. That pass would have been a two-liner. Probably going to be an icing here if they can get a touch-up somewhere. And it's waved off. Popovich got back there. Sticks were being held all over the place and allowed him to get there before the icing could be called. Down went Gratton in front. Almost took Tugnut back into the net. Brown clears that one off the boards and out the center. And a nice board pass to Robert Lang, but he couldn't handle a bouncing puck. Pens in a line change here. Warner cleared it up the near side. After will send it in. Block. Chris Stratton and Slager do battle. Tipped away as it went off Dixon Ward's stick and cleared back out of there by Hans Johnson. Not a lot of offense here. These two teams knuckling down in this third. Speaking of down, Baranik's the man sliding on the ice. McKee went back in around behind his own net and cleared it up off the far side boards. Poked away to Barnes. Nice play. Chatan's on the right side. Barnes in. The Stu chant on. His shot deflected. Barnes gets it back. Backhand chance. Roll right through the top of the crease trying to set it up. Chatan shot got blocked right back on his own stick. Chatan with Yager on him. He'll go back up on top. McKee's open. He'll take it. Deflected high. way over the head that time of Ron Tugnutt. Dixon Ward held it in. Barnes dropped it off. Dixon Ward played it back in behind the net. Chased down over there by Janssen. Hensley to clear. Yager moving up to the blue. Dropped it back. Janssen looking near side. Little room. Baranek in. His shots. They made Hasek. Rebound. Setting there. Verdina couldn't get the stick on it as he gets spun around. And Miroslav Shatan cleared it up. Slager held it in. Warner looking. He got double teamed down low. Dumps it up onto the bench to getting the whistle. Let's check in again with Steve Levy. Steve.
Gary, thank you. It's well documented. The Mighty Ducks need some help from other places, but right now they're helping themselves. For the third time, Paul Kariya is a 40-goal scorer, and it's 2-1 Anaheim.
To remind you, ABC and the NHL Sunday, rounding out the regular season. Some will see the Wings and Patrick Waugh, Colorado Avalanche. Check local listings for the game in your area. That's 3 Eastern, 2 Central on ABC, home of the Stanley Cup. Face off to the left side of Dominik Hasek this time. 35-year-old netminder watching as the Sabres were able to clear it out. Kasparaitis bounced it back, tied up Balloon over there. Balloon took a shot off his toe and got it treated between periods. Back out there in the ice. That'll be covered up by Tugnutt. Boy, this is a grinded out third period.
It sure is. You know, the Sabres are in this position to get into the playoffs because they kind of took care of some of their own business in the last week. When you knock off the Montreal Canadiens 2-0 and you're in one of those dogfights with them for the last playoff spot, and that was in Montreal. So for all of the times the Sabres could have won games earlier in the season and they didn't, they can say, gosh, I wish we'd done that. We'd be in the playoffs. They still have helped themselves when it counted the most down the stretch by winning some real big hockey games.
32-year-old Ron Tugnutt in there for Pittsburgh. There's the last 7 with Gilmore. Their goals for has jumped way up. That's part of that 7-game stretch. If you joined us late, Gilmore is out of the game with that virus. Gilmore, 3 goals, 14 assists in 11 games he has played with the Buffalo Sabres. But not tonight. He tried, went in on the warm-up, but just too weak to go on with this game.
You know, in talking about the Sabres' drive for the playoffs, they've picked up 15 of the last possible 18 points. That is why they are on the door, knocking on the playoff door.
That is a great run for the Buffalo Sabres. Pittsburgh had the lead. Out on a trouble goal that came in the first period. Buffalo Sabres came back in the second period to tie that one up. Veroni's 10th goal from Pekka Sipnikov, won the title. That's where we are right now, 2-on-1. Kasparaitis is the only man back. Shatan near side. Shatan. It bounces away as Tugnutt came across. 2-on-1 break. The odd man rush. And Ron Tugnutt denied the go-ahead goal. Kasparaitis, who is back on D on that, clears it out. And Shitnik will give chase.
You know, Shatan fumbled the puck just momentarily because it flipped when it got to his blade. I think that little split-second bounce of the puck might have cost him a goal there.
Wide open, Kovalev in the middle, and a shot, and he ripped it, but he ripped it wide. Kovalev ended up coming in alone that time, but he did not get it on net on Hasek. Went for that high side. Held in and dumped deep by Roosevelt. Cleared around by Schmelik and out of the zone. Roosevelt could not block it. Tipped it, though. They got to play it. Directing traffic, Tugnutt. Cleared it to the near side. Tugnutt can move the puck. Shatan, though, knocked that one down after the Genoff did. Good play to hold it in. Centering pass right through the middle. A lot of banging going on in front of the net that time. Jeff Sanderson was there, but he got knocked down. Kovalev moving in. James Patrick on him. Kovalev double team. Lang shot, deflected away. Patrick again. Cleared it around. Sanderson's got to come up to get it. Wants the clear and got it. And an icing call will come here on the touch. 13:56 to go in this third period. A game affecting the playoff seedings. 1-1.
Check out the big screen. Here's
Buenos nachos.
Sorry, I didn't know you spoke Spanish. Are you fluent?
No. I feel fine.
Meet Gordy and Sean.
People always said I'll never amount to anything.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Now, 2 dreamers are headed for the big time. Face first.
Sing it! You chicks rock!
Ready to rumble. Rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you.
surprisingly affordable Leganza from Daewoo. At less than $19,000, no other car has taken luxury this far.
Honey, I know it's your birthday tomorrow, but Mommy has to go away on a business trip.
Tell you what, you know that new bike you wanted for your birthday? Mommy will get it for you. That new video game, huh?
Okay, you tell Mommy what you want, whatever it is. You got it.
Hey, happy birthday.
Visa Platinum, exceptional credit limit and worldwide acceptance. Purchase power for when it really counts.
Does this mean I can't get the bike?
I want to show you the last scoring chance for the Sabres. Matt Barnaby's coming over here, and it looks like he's going to go back here and back up Bob Boughner. But look at Barnaby. He spins to the left. Boughner pinched in and actually dumped it up. And away went the Sabres on a 2-on-1. I'm not sure this puck ever got to Ron Tugnutt. I think Darius Kasparaitis deflected it. Boom, right there, up and high.
Good play by Kasparaitis. Gary Slager drops that one back. We're in the third period with the game tied. Near side, Joseph Baranek tried to clear it out of there and didn't get it back. Baranek moves in. Baranek, stick goes flying up in the air. Joseph Baranek stick. Barada. Jágr reached in, freed it. Slager a chance. Dominik Hasek slides that one away. And that one will be whistled for the face-off. Canada Dry League leaderboard that we've been talking about for the point leader in the National Hockey League on the year. Jágr's got a game after this. Bure's got 2 left. It's going to be between the two of them. Mike Recchi third right now in points. Canada Dry point leaders, and Jaromir Jágr has not picked up a point here tonight on the 1 goal scored by the Pens.
You know what he said that I thought was pretty interesting? He said battling for a playoff spot to the last 4 or 5 days of the season, he thinks would be an advantage. He said in the past, we always knew with maybe 6, 8, 10 games to go that we were going to be in the playoffs, and it was just a matter of the matchup, and that wasn't that important. He likes their team's readiness for the playoffs better now because of the race they were in just to get in.
Sometimes if you know you're going to be in too early, you kind of flip the switch to off and cruise into the playoffs, and then can't turn it back on again.
And too late has you playing right to the very last day, the very last game, and then you've got a couple days to get your head together and get turned around. So might have a point there. It's similar to what is the appropriate length of a layoff. Yeah. I think 3 days is ideal. What's the appropriate length of time to know you're in the playoffs? To Jaromir Jágr, 3 weeks is too long. 4 or 5 days, just right.
Now he wants that scoring title. He does not score tonight, obviously. That's really going to open the door for Bure, who's got the 2 games remaining. Jágr will have only 1 left to be played. And off the draw, it'll roll back out through center. Pittsburgh's won their last 2. Buffalo's won their last 3. And a 1-1 game here with 13 plus to go. That one chipped up and over the glass will stop the clock. 21-16 the shots here in the third. It's just been tic-tac at center. And the goaltenders have spent most of this period so far watching.
You know, it was interesting. Lindy Ruff was talking to us today and said, you know how you can tell Dominik Hasek is back? When he gets really wacky out there and does bizarre things and throws his glove and yells at the ref and breaks his stick over the net when something happens that he doesn't like. That's when you can tell he's back. And in case you haven't seen the Sabres play the last couple of weeks, he's had a few of those episodes.
Yes, he has. 34th game. The injury keeping him out of all the others. But he is now on a run and will do so, obviously. The Buffalo Sabres to get into the playoffs. He's got the plane cleared in by Stu Barnes and around the near side. Nixon Ward knocked it down. Barnaby cleared it up and out of the zone. Leach knocked it away. Pittsburgh back in. Leach cutting shot, and Dominik Hasek will hang on with Barnaby charging in and creating the opportunity.
Matthew Barnaby's got some pretty good wheels. He just turned him on there. Jay McKee kind of baby to play in the neutral zone, and Barnaby just kept coming. Check it out here. I mean, he got by Jeff Sanderson, and when Jay McKee misplayed it, Matt Barnaby just kept it going. He's taking full advantage of the ice time that he's getting, and you know what? He doesn't look bad at center at all. Just that one backup where he was supposed to back up Boughner, and he didn't realize he was. I mean, a winger turns it back in, always assuming that the center is going to be high in the zone.
You know how much of a difference it's made for him offensively, giving the opportunity to play in an offensive line in offensive positions. Lang won the draw back to the point. Dominik Hasek the save. Roosevelt the chance. Popovich a shot, and Hasek will get a whistle on that save. Elsewhere, Steve Levy.
All right, Gary, thanks. Ace researcher John Zoney offers this dandy up. The only player in NHL history whose last name starts with 2 A's, Anthony Alto of the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, has just given them a 3-1 lead, guys.
Trying to keep their playoff hopes alive in the West. They must win to do that.
Antti Alto, he is the NHL equivalent of aardvark to the dictionary. Number 1 on the list.
Dropped down low in the holding. Kovalev again and denied by Hasek. Kovalev has had his chances. Dominik Hasek standing tall on that one. Not much to shoot at. Into the zone. Robert Lang back behind his own net. Lang looking with 12:17 left to go here in regulation. Hasek will play this one himself out through the middle. And it'll be brought back in near side. Schmeling dumped it into the corner. Centering pass deflected at Rasmussen, cutting all the way back to the point. The end up behind the net. Rosenwald will pick that one up. Rasmussen moved in. Jagr was cutting out into the middle. Pass was behind it. And Shitnik just flipped it up, allowing Buffalo to get out of the zone. Near side, Rob Brown. Brown will gain the red and send that one in. Out to get it. Hasek leaves it for Rhett Warner. Sabres missing Jason Woolley, so they're down a defenseman here for this third period after he blocked a shot, bruised the knee. Vaclav Barada shot, saved. Simperkov once. Michael Pekka's shot. That one went high. All 3 on that line got involved in a couple scoring chances right there. Pekka went down behind the play as it goes up ice. Sporadic leaves it. Near side shot. Hasek wins it. He knew he had it somewhere with Jan Urdina looking for his first goal in 20 games. Set up that time with Jagr on the pass off the right wing.
Dominik Hasek had no idea where this was, and very often if he thinks it's behind him, he'll just lie down to cover it up. I'm kind of surprised he put his blocker glove across the line. I mean, it might have been tangled up in that. Great feed from Jagr here over to the side. And Urdina, this is one of those role reversals. We talked about Urdina always feeding Jagr. Well, it did hit him on the left arm and got through him. And I think Hasek at least knew that it was somewhere on the left side of his body. Right about here.
I think it slipped right down in the glove, inside the glove.
May have.
He's still trying to find it. 7-1 the shots here in the third with the Pens having the advantage. Dominik Hasek, big save there. Icing call coming here. No. Well, we've had more wave-offs tonight because of efforts up ice. Vaclav Barada centered, taken away again by Baranek. Baranek, Jagr, back to Baranek. Slager cutting shot, save. Bounce. Hasek will play it.
Kind of.
Not sure what he was going to do with that one. Centered back, Gary Slager back at the point. He's wide open. Tried to pass it across ice. Points are open here. Slager now going off the ice. It'll be dumped into the corner where McKee will be able to go back and play it. McKee got it up to the blue line and out. 10:30 left to go in the third period. Still tied at 1 apiece. Vaclav Barada open. Shot. Deflected wide. Ooh! Down comes Tugnutt. As Jeff Sanderson coming through the middle kind of got pushed. And now has his stick broken as play continues the other way. Hasek needs a little help as he went around behind the net. Shitnik turned it around. Jeff Sanderson went over and got a stick. Came right back up trying to play that puck.
And he didn't have his stick right. The stick was still all twisted up in his hands, and he looked like a...
Whoa! Shot out. Hasek, and he makes a save without the stick. Matthew Barnaby in front. Hasek didn't have his stick and pushed it away with a blocker.
Oh, Matt Barnaby just went by and tapped the post as if to tell the world, you didn't make that save, buddy. The crossbar did. Matt Barnaby skated right up and tapped the crossbar to Dominik Hasek's high right. Because he had Hasek down without the stick, and it looked like Hasek really had the blocker in a good spot. Here's Barnaby. Might be able to see it from this angle. There's the shot. Crossbar, baby. That's why Barnaby was almost as if Barnaby wanted to let the world know that Dominik Hasek had not stopped him.
Hasek says, who is in net when you miss that off the crossbar? Dominik Hasek and Barnaby, teammates, former. 10:01 to go in the third.
Well, if Barnaby said to him, you didn't make the save, Hasek could have countered, you didn't hit the net either.
That's right.
Because
You didn't get a shot.
Yeah, you did not get a shot on goal.
Dominic Hasek looking to have the best save percentage in the NHL for the 7th consecutive year. He started the night 3rd in that department. Right now, if the numbers stay the way they are, he'll be tied for first with Eddie Belfour and Jose Theodore. Still a 1-1 game. Buffalo Sabres defense all night long. Shipnick right through the crease. Janov tried to center and had it blocked. Moved up. Balloon got it out of the zone. And that will be dumped in by Leach, and the change by both teams. 1-1 Sabres and Pens. They grinded out 3rd period. Preble and Barada. The 2 goals in this game. The lead was taken by Pittsburgh in the first. Barada tied it up in the second, and that'll go up on the bench.
Well, this is a contact sport. In case you didn't know that, you could ask Ron Tugnutt, goaltender for the Penguins in this one. Jeff Sanderson, clean takedown.
Baby, show me 1 + 1 is 2.
From coast to coast, from high to goodbye, long distance for as little as 2 cents a minute. That's the power of 2. Introducing Sprint 1000. 1,000 minutes of long distance for as little as 2 cents a minute. Just call 1-800-PIN-DROP and you'll get 1,000 minutes of long distance calling every month for just $20 a month. And you choose how you want to use your minutes. If you call at night, there's Sprint 1000 nights. Call every night for as little as 2 cents a minute. Or if you call on the weekend, you can choose Sprint 1000 weekends. For Sprint 1000, there are no surprises. You'll get 1,000 minutes each month for just $20. So switch to Sprint now. Then you can call anyone coast to coast. Sprint 1000 nights or Sprint 1000 weekends. 2 great plans for as little as 2 cents a minute. That's the power of 2. Anything more would be too much. Call 1-800-PIN-DROP and switch to Sprint 1000.
If you have thinning hair, you can get this hair loss research update free by calling 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now. I could control the way my body looks, but not my hair. I was very confused about what to do when I started losing my hair. I didn't know where to start. I was looking for some real answers, and I got them from Hair Club's latest hair loss research update. It gave me the facts that I needed to make the right decision about my thinning hair. Now that I have my hair back, I'm glad I made that call. You can get this hair loss research update free by calling 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now.
Buffalo's got a game against Washington left. Pittsburgh plays Boston. We told you the Buffalo Sabres can secure themselves a number 8 spot no matter what anybody else does. If in these 2 games, this one and their last one, they can come away with 3 points. Save made by Tugnutt. Barnes is wide open in the middle.
A big one. That deflected off a Rosabal and changed directions on Tugnutt. That was a hugie.
Near side to Brown. Brown trying to send it in. Barnes was there to steal it. Popovic back out at center. His pass blocked Ward, but he got it back. Pope checked away to Brown. Picked up by Robert Lang. And Kovalev trying to get it in. McKee tied him up. Hang on, buddy. They get back on side. Brown, who can shoot, is open. Lang is open and passes it up off the boards for the point shot. Roosevelt, and he wasn't even close to getting it on net. Rasmussen's got it. He'll go across ice with it. 8:20 left to go. All of a sudden, things begin to tighten up here, especially for the Buffalo Sabres, as to what the meaning of the final 8:13 of this period. Do not want this going to the last day. Barada centered. Siplikov couldn't control it. Michael Pekka set up in front of the net. It won't matter. Takedown over there. Baranek's the man who put the poke check on. Yager brought it out. Ian Baranek moved it up. Back for Yager. Michael Pekka stepped in. Made sure he protected the puck with his body and moved it out. Near side to Slager. Slager backs it up. Now Herzina had to go deeper. Slager will dump on the far side. Nobody wanting to make a big turnover here. Han Johnson got it out into the middle, but they're going to go back again. Slager back in behind the net. Larry Slager turns to the side of his netminder. Yager comes to the near side this time. Would have been offside and is. Yager was way in the zone. Our Visa storyline on National Hockey Night. Trouble the goal his first of the year in his 3rd game at this level. Barada, goal number 10, tied it up. Buffalo, they can eliminate Carolina with a win. Pittsburgh 7th in the East with a win or a tie guaranteed to them.
Our Visa replay is the goal in the 2nd period that knotted this tilt at 1. Michael Pekka's shot. The rebound came to Vaclav Barada, who was driving the net. left a stick behind, jammed into Ron Tugnutt, kind of his calling card. I was here. But they haven't been able to penetrate the Pittsburgh D. Gosh, Pittsburgh has played a very tenacious game defensively, and I will say again, hugely impressed with the effort Pittsburgh has come here with for this tilt tonight when they clinched the playoff spot that they looked like they were going to miss. They clinched it 2 nights ago. And what is there to play for? They could finish 7th or 8th, and they still wouldn't know who they're going to face until Sunday because we don't know who's going to be seeded 1 and 2.
Herb Brooks must have given them one of those Olympic chats before the game.
Well, it works, I'll tell you.
He got him up and got him going. Off the draw, Brown won it. Yager reaching for it. Came free at center. The Pens will take it back to their own end. Kasparaitis. Jaromir Yager. We're going to see a lot more ice time here with 7:15 left to go. And it's a bad pass right there. Down Urdina trying to turn it. Ended up giving it into his own end. Urdina back to help. Shatan came up on him. And Falloon will clear that one out. Buffalo Sabres overskated. Baranek came in. Now Brown's got it. Flips that one out to center. Bogner will chase this one down. Both teams changing. He didn't have anyone to go to. Curtis Brown. Shatan trying to feed it in. James Patrick way offside, so we had to go back into the zone. Key, make sure it gets up to center. Taken by Dixon Ward. Ward on the backhand chance, and Tugnutt will hang on with Shatan moving in. 6:36 to go, 3rd period, and 1-1.
Boy, James Patrick came off the bench, and for a second I thought he was a forward. I mean, he might have been told by Lindy Ruff to get out there and just force the play. Remember, the Sabres want their defensemen to be very active. They want them to pinch right into the corners. They want them to join the rush when it's smart to do that. And Lindy Ruff has had to prod his defenseman all season. He said to do that. Not that time. Patrick came over the boards and looked like he was a forward. But at the same time, they don't want to lose this. You want to win it without putting yourself at risk of losing it at the same time, because you lose it in regulation, you don't get anything. You don't get your point.
Patrick, a 17-year veteran, smart player. Has scored 10-plus goals 7 consecutive years. Ron Tugnutt face off to the right side. They'll set Barnes up in front of the net, try and draw it back to the point to get a shot, and Barnes will look for a rebound. Robert Lang says as he won the face-off in behind the net. Pittsburgh, the check put on by Chris Gratton and Dixon Ward. Ward went over in the corner. Had it tied up. Kovalev and Edu battled. Kovalev tipped it away. Popovich couldn't control it. Buffalo jamming everybody out in front again. Chris Gratton a chance. Tugnutt didn't see that, but it went off bodies high and wide. Dixon Ward's got it. Ward turning on the backhand side. His shot partially blocked. Pens will move it out. Kovalev coming. Brown's in the middle. 2-on-2. Kovalev looking. Kovalev in the middle. Went too far. Barnes got the bump on him, and down he went. Chris Gratton comes the other way. 3 Pens already back. Dixon Ward. Ward leaves it in the middle. Barnes looking. Shot. Save. And he hangs on. Stu Barnes, 1 goal in 11 games. Almost 1-1, crunch time, 5:51 to go here in this 3rd period.
Canada Dry Ginger Ale. Out and out refreshment.
Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Now at Pep Boys, all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for only $99, and all 70,000-mile tires 4 for $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us. With 1-800-COLLECT, you save a buck or two. So why doesn't everyone use it? You use 1-800-COLLECT to make that call, right? Forgot?
Forgot? You forgot.
1-800-COLLECT. Collect call is so simple. 1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
I love strawberries.
I love you.
Mozzarella, luscious toppings, a fresh baked crust.
You invited a pizza delivery guy here? What kind of girl do you think I am?
But it's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
For fresh baked pizza at home, it's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, and our crew, ESPN's National Hockey Night. Final weekend of the NHL regular season, and going to be these kind of games in a lot of places. Sabres and Pens tied at 1-1. Face-off to the left side of Ron Tugnut. Nobody's got possession yet. Centering pass Shatan, kicked away to the near side. Brown had it, lost it, ties his man up, got it back. Sanderson, his shot. Tugnut a save. Rebound, Shatan, Tugnut. Whoop. Big time saves. Big chances for the Buffalo Sabres. Back into the zone, Zhitnik. Both teams over the boards in the change. Slager looking into the middle. Balloon's cutting. Shot taken. Balloon in front. No rebound for him. Dominic Hasek taking a little while to come up after this one. Stephen Barry.
All right, Gareth, thanks. We've got the 1-800-COLLECT great save of the night. The last Blackhawk goaltender to win this, I believe, was Darren Pang. But here's Scott Pellerin breaking in, and Steve Passmore, one of his 16 saves.
Well, as I said, I never had a breakaway, but I caused a bunch right here. Great leg save by Passmore. Back to you, Gary and Bill.
Hey, nice job on D, Bear.
Never had a breakaway, but caused a bunch. That was because you were such a good passer, right, Bear? You just make that long leap. Oh, you mean breakaways the other way? Oh, I got you.
Barry got to watch those from behind. Face off to the left side of Dominic Hasek with 5:19 left to go. They want to go back out onto that point. Pittsburgh does here if they can get the draw back. Barnaby did not do that. One back in behind the net. Michael Pekka won the faceoff. Barnaby gave him a little cross shot after he won it. Tugnut knocks it away in the shot from center. Up off the glass. Sporadic. Slager. Yager's on the right. Slager. Yager dropped it to him. He had to jam that one in. Slager got level over there on the far side. Slager's got to clear the zone. Yager picks up the loose puck. They're onside. McKee on a one-iron. Centered through the middle. Nobody can get that one. Rolls back out. Michael Pekka's got it. Simlikov on his left. Near side Barada. Barada shot that one through the blue but wide. Yager into the middle of Slager. Gary Slager. The red blue and in. Put it between the legs and got tied up. Played off the near side by Hasek, but McKee couldn't do anything with it. Yager centered for Brown. That was blocked by Michael Pekka. Yager came back to get it. Yager dropped it. Had a man open, but it bounced off Bob Bunker's stick. Rugger had just come off the bench and nobody picked him up. Yager again. Yager trying to move it in. Does. Yager forehand side. Leaves it in the middle. Shot. Saved by Hasek on Brown. Another fine setup by Jaromir Jagr.
Boy, and another good save by Hasek. Tugnut's been at it at his end. I mean, he's starting to heat up now, and Tugnut is in a real duel with Hasek. They've both been real good in this tilt.
Counts are 28-24 in favor of Buffalo. Jagr first in points, fourth in goals, third in assists. Starting today's play, fired shot deflected by Kasparaitis back into the seats. 3:45 to go in regulation. Baseball tonight following our game at 10 o'clock. You'll see the Griffey story, Griffey Sosa, the opener at Enron Field in Houston, and the D-Rays retire Wade Boggs' number. It's all coming up. Baseball tonight.
Jagr would settle for any kind of points right now, goal or assist. It would put his team in the lead. It would also give him another point to pull further ahead of Pavel Bure, but you can't take Jagr like that. We showed you in the second period how to take him. I mean, square on with the body. That time a couple of guys, including Michael Pekka, which is unusual, just rolled right off him.
Jaromir Jagr, sometimes forget with the finesse he plays how strong he is, as he's a big player. In behind the net, Pittsburgh trying to clear out of the zone. Kovalev could not get it out. Held in by Zhitnik. Now rolled to the center. Zhitnik and Schmelik back along their own blue line to play it. 3:26 left here in the third. Barnes. And would have been offside. Sabres trying to draw it back here. And Schmelik, good job to control it. Again along the blue. Gloved in by Richard Schmelik. Knocked that one down. Barnes another chance. Shot it over the head of Tugnut. And the Pens able to move it out but not control it. Buffalo making sure their D are back. Nixon Ward, the intended, went through him. Good back up, and again, Roosevelt just got it out of there. Hasek plays it. Hasek trying to catch Pittsburgh in a change. Made a bad play right there. Held on to by Leach, who went wide side but didn't get it through. Near side, Jeff Sanderson. High shot, and Tugnut the save. What does the game mean here on the beginning of this final weekend?
Well, the Buffalo Sabres, if they get a point out of this, still get 2 points in their last game on Sunday and make the playoffs. One of the keys here is that if Buffalo ties, the Carolina Hurricanes are still alive. But either a Buffalo win tonight or a Montreal win tomorrow night eliminates the Carolina Hurricanes, and that's why they're going to have to back in if they get in.
Winner tie for them would solidify 7th spot for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Buffalo loses, and it remains wide open. Face off to the left side of Tugnut. Curtis Brown in on the draw. Will try and bring it back, and does. Brett Warner a little room, and a save made again. That one a hard shot along the ice by Warner. Sanderson in the corner, hit by Buckner from behind. Buffalo tantalizingly close, right through the middle. Curtis Brown got it back after passing, and it deflected back to him. Sanderson has had a great game. Tugnut, that one went wide. Warner just trying to dump that in front. James Patrick held that one in. Rolls free on the near side. Barnaby came back to help. Barnaby turned to the middle. He knew he had to get that one out of there. Jan Erdina was out there to help him. Barnaby down the middle. Barnaby, nice poke check by Patrick. Erdina turns. There's a puck shot wide. Barnaby was cutting. Barnaby came right in front of Dominic Hasek that time. Shatan will move it out of the zone, but not controlling it. Slager the intercept. Shatan got it back. Simplecop gets onside. Shatan lines up. His shot blocked as he went back in behind the net. Hans Johnson got a piece of that one. Jaromir Jagr back out on the ice. Slager trying to settle a pick for him as Jagr lost control of the puck.
You know, if we had $1 for every time the Penguins got a stick on a potential Sabres shot on goal, we'd be racking up the dough right now.
Jagr trying to move it in, and poke checked away. Good job again. Zhitnik reached in and made that look easy. Slager drops it off. 1:28 to go in regulation. Jagr coming through the middle, he intended. That'll be backed in. Simplecop shot blocked by Yuri Slager. Jaromir Jagr on the far side. Jagr looking into the middle. Slager the trailer. Slager spins it into the middle for a backhand chance. That went wide. Joseph Barana. What a chance Barana had that time. And a pass that really wasn't intended for him, but he ended up right on the tape. 1 minute left to go in third period on the attack. Zhitnik. Zhitnik looking in front, sent it into the middle, and it goes wide. Dixon Ward. Ward shot blocked out in front. 50 seconds to go in regulation play. Pittsburgh trying to keep it hot for the Sabres. Here in the final minute for a game winner, Kovalev. Popovic started up the boards, decided not to go after it. Warner has it. Warner got it up, deflected to Barnes. In the middle, he's in. His shot, deflected wide. Tugnut went down on the ice. Zhitnik dropped it back in behind the net. Barnes has got it. Grattan set up in front, moves behind to get the loose puck. His centering pass is blocked. In behind the net, Roosevelt blocked that out in front. Kovalev on the far side, 17 seconds left to go. Into Robert Lang. Lang with a little room. Pittsburgh changing. Behind the net, Dominic Hasek will hold it up. Brett Warner came back to get it. Down to the final seconds of this third period. Kasparaitis gives chase. Kasparaitis in his own end, turning it, and we are going to go to OT. Each team has a point. The Sabres and the Penguins conclude the regulation tied at 1 apiece. Treble and Barada the goals.
Things have changed, Jack.
What do you mean?
We never laugh anymore.
Of course we laugh.
Oh, Jack.
Do you remember that time at Wendy's? We had those Monterey Ranch chicken sandwiches.
Those are good.
I've never seen you so happy.
That was over a year ago.
Well, get happy again because Wendy's Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich is back. With a whole breast filet, Monterey Jack, and ranch dressing with bacon, you can't help but feel good.
The love is back.
Wendy's Monterey Ranch.
I expect a lot of my family. I expect Joe to get heartburn, Tony to get nausea, and Sarah indigestion at the mere sight of food. Instead, Joe would get indigestion, Tony diarrhea, and I'd end up with heartburn. I just keep first aid handy at all times.
Pepto-Bismol relieves more stomach problems than any of these other leading medicines.
I expect the unexpected.
Pepto-Bismol. First aid for heartburn, diarrhea, nausea, indigestion, and upset stomachs.
So how do you play the overtime, Penguins and Sabres?
Well, if you're the Sabres, you're going to get your point. Remember, 3 points gets them into the playoffs. 3 points in the next 2 games. They got 1 game Sunday. They got the 1 point here. Win or lose, go for it. And they'll get the point here. If they win, they only have to tie on Sunday no matter what Montreal does tomorrow night.
And the Canes, the tie would not eliminate them. The Buffalo win would. Overtime records for Pittsburgh, Robert Lang and Hans Johnson have had the game winners. For Buffalo, Sanderson Brown, Michael Groschick, who isn't here anymore, Woolley and Barnes have had their overtime game winners. And if it 3 teams in the chase for the final spot, the 8th spot. Carolina eliminated with 1 Buffalo or Montreal win.
Well, here's one of the reasons, the big reason the Sabres can open it up and not be as concerned as a lot of teams would be about losing the game. Dominic Hasek. He may be called upon to hold them in here if they just go for broke.
Face-off won by Jan Hrdina. Over to Kasparaitis. Pittsburgh looking for that win to solidify the spot. Jaromir Jagr scores! Jaromir Jagr, the game-winning goal! And the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to make it real tough on the Buffalo Sabres as they come away with an OT 2-1 win and the number 7 spot for the playoffs in the East. And for the Sabres, it's like, oh, man, it's not over yet.
And that's what they're saying in Carolina right now, because it's not over for the Carolina Hurricanes. Had the Sabres won this game in overtime, the Canes season would have been over. They are still alive, little by little. Everything falls into place. But it will not come easy for the Sabres, and the big reason it didn't come easy tonight was the play of Ron Tugnutt. When he had to be big, he was huge for Pittsburgh. Here's what happened, the opening face-off of overtime. Jaromir Jagr just swung back. The Sabres defensemen were pinching up on the play. Alexei Zhitnik, who threw his stick, it would have been interesting to see the call. They probably would have awarded a penalty shot there because Zhitnik noticeably threw his stick. Watch this. He threw his stick, so even if Jagr misses, this would have been a penalty shot. But Jagr didn't need it. What a move, the long reach. And the great vision of Jaromir Jagr ended this game. Dominic Hasek did his best, but Jagr just beat him. I mean, that is the greatest scorer in the world today at his best.
42 goals on the season, increases his lead to the point lead to 3. And now, as a result of the win, 13 seconds into OT, this is the update. Pittsburgh's got number 7 now. They know they're there. But Buffalo, Montreal, and Carolina all remain alive for the 8th spot. Goal coming, 13 seconds in. Jagr, Hrdina, and Kasparaitis the assists. For Bill Clement, I'm Gary Thorne. Elsewhere, Stephen Barry.
All right, guys, nice job tonight. What a dramatic finish. How do you become a superstar, right? You become a superstar, for the most part, by dominating games. Jaromir Jagr can be invisible until it's crunch time and he comes up with a brilliant play like that. Well.